This is A's Cast Live, your comprehensive look at the Oakland Athletics.
Rooker, it's a fly ball to deep center. Robert going back at the track. He will turn and watch it fly.
And 29 other MLB clubs.
Adolis Garcia sends on the other way. That sends Carroll back. He's at the line. Grows. Ronald Acuna, another milestone in a truly historic season.
Julio with an absolute nuke out to left field.
It's Glaber Day. And like a good Glaber, Torres is there.
Join us as we take you inside the baseball universe. From humidors to Stuff Plus to walk-off dingers, we have you covered. Spend your afternoon with us, only on A's Cast Live. Here's Chris Townsend.
Good afternoon, everybody, and welcome to another edition of A's Cast Live. We have a spectacular show for you today. The Super Scout doing TV right now as we speak on NBC Sports California, A's pre- and post-game live. Shooty Babitt, he's fresh out of the bushes. He's been traveling around looking at our minor league system, other minor league systems. He's going to report what he saw coming up at 2:30. And you know, guess who I'm going to ask him about? Guess.
Jacob Wilson?
Yeah. See what Shooty says about Jacob Wilson coming up at 2:30. I can't remember the last time I've been so excited for a guy.
Just overall, are you talking about A's or just overall?
Overall.
You weren't excited for Jackson Holiday?
No. Well, it has nothing to do with me.
Yeah.
What? I mean, in the grand scheme of things, how much am I going to really watch Jackson Holiday play when his games kick off at 4:00 and my show kicks off at 4:00? Paul Skeens, yeah, I taped it. I actually watched it live. I live tweeted you as he was leaving the mound and did not complete 5 innings. But I mean, it's cool when young guys are coming up and they're going to be, but they're not my guy. It's different when it's your guy. Like if you're an Indianapolis Colts fan and you've got Peyton Manning, yeah, that's great for you. As a football fan, yeah, that's great, but he's not a Raider, so what does it do for me? That just means he's going to beat my team. Now, I get it. You guys get super excited over that. Other teams' prospects don't excite me like my team's prospects. I like my children way better than I like your children. I like your children, but I don't love your children.
No offense.
No offense. I love my children. I'm worried about my kids. So, no, I can't remember the last time I've been this excited for somebody.
He had 2 hits again
But
last
I didn't
night.
realize Jackson Holiday, you were that excited for Jackson Holiday.
Oh, I was just throwing it because everyone talked about him and Skeen so far this year nationally. Didn't Jacob have 2 hits again last night?
Yeah, he's 2 for 5.
That's now the 3rd time already in Vegas.
And
he's
the
had multiple hits.
game-winning fielder's choice. What's he up to, like 375?
Something like that, yeah.
Every single night he hits. Every night. In a lineup that today has a guy hitting 203, 217, 188, 147, 224. Tyler Nevin's hitting 241. But do you realize Tyler Nevin for the month of May? I did this yesterday, and I like Tyler Nevin a lot. I'm rooting for the kid. I want nothing but great things for him. But you got to spew facts. Tyler Nevin for the month is hitting .083, 83 in the lineup again tonight. And Jacob Wilson is hit 455 in AA, and now he's hitting whatever. What's he hitting now? 375 or whatever I saw it. We played the highlight. The great Robert Costa had the highlight last night as we were on our way out on the A's Clubhouse show.
Brady, we'll get that in a second.
Brady Basso's pitching tonight.
He's starting tonight in Vegas.
We will get to that. Brady Basso, we hardly knew you.
375. He's 9 for 24 in 5 games.
He's hitting 375. He went from hitting 455 to 375. Like, my prediction of June 15th of him being my hot take Tuesday, my hot take on Tuesday, yesterday, that may be not that hot of a take. I mean, what happens if we're like 2 weeks down the road and he's getting 3-4 hits again? I mean, it might be June 1st.
We're not an organization that keeps guys down because of service time and Super 2. So I could see it being before June 15th if he keeps hitting, and then everything's going on now with guys in the lineup not hitting. So I could see him being up. I want to see him as much as you do, because what he's doing in the minor leagues, he puts the ball in play, which is a lot of guys aren't doing that right now. So, not just with the A's, I'm talking about league wide. A lot of guys are putting the ball in play.
That's a problem.
We saw it last night. We'll play it all later, but Ron Washington not happy the guy not being able to put on a suicide squeeze. Luis Guillorme, who they just got. It's not good. A lot of offense in baseball is not great right now. I watched the Giants and Dodgers last night.
Is this, how do I want to put this? By the way, great show today. Shooty Babitt 2:30. Our A's historian, another top 10. Dave Feldman at 3:30. And Josh Reddick, former A. You loved him. He's here today. A's Cast Live. Now doing radio for the Astros. Josh Reddick here at 4 o'clock. I was going to say jump the shark moment, and the jump the shark moment is an old reference to Happy Days, when basically the show Happy Days had run its course when Arthur Fonzarelli, the Fonz, was jumping the shark with his motorcycle. That's where jump the shark came from. It's really early in Ron Washington's tenure, but last night, I got to be honest with you, after the show, go out in my backyard. I got my TV, lit up a cigar, watched Quick Pitch, enjoying myself, thinking about Cody and what we're going to do today. And I'm watching it going, oh, my God, Ron, what are you doing? I don't want to say it's his jump the shark moment, but I'm kind of worried because Ron Washington last night did something that it's the type of thing that if you have any questions about somebody and their ability to manage, it allows everybody to go, see, this is what we're talking about. I mean, he puts on the suicide squeeze. Guillorme does not make it happen. I thought it wasn't the ball was outside. He's a left-handed hitter. The ball is in the the right-hander's batter's box, but as a suicide squeeze, your job as a batter is to do everything humanly possible to put your bat on that ball. And I know it looks terrible because I'm not left-handed. I'm right-handed. I was a right-handed hitter. But no matter what, how you bunt, technically how you're supposed to bunt, if that ball's outside, I mean, you throw your bat at it. You do everything. You put your whole body on the other side. You do everything you humanly can. And all he did was go, oh, I didn't get it. Like, he reached over, but he didn't do everything, if you see the highlight, humanly possible to get that sacrifice bunt down. That is your job. But there's a lot leading up to it. Jojo Romero had walked 2 straight batters going into this at-bat that would load the bases. He had thrown like 13 balls, 11 strikes. He is all over the place. And Ron Washington gave you a different description of what was happening and then blamed the player and said he was right. Now, if you didn't look at the circumstances and if you didn't look at what had happened leading up to it, saying that a guy should be able to get a sac bunt down, there's no question. But when you look at the pitch and then you look at that, the pitcher was all over the joint walking people, you have the Ron Washington. I mean, this is like, wow. And I love you know how much we love Wash, but this is like, wow. he had walked 2 straight batters to get to that scenario.
15 of his 31 pitches were strikes.
That's 50%.
Yeah.
He's throwing and then the fact that it's not my fault. Hey, there are times where I like that, right? There are times I like when the manager goes, dude, this guy didn't do his job. I mean, at some point, this whole protecting the players can get a little nuts. That's why I always like people like Bill Parcells after the game. Bill Parcells, you're a quarterback and you didn't play well for Bill Parcells. He was not going to fall on the sword for you. But if you're there at the Big A and you're watching this game and Jojo Romero has walked 2 straight batters, you put on the suicide squeeze. And I know he said you want to go with the 6-6. By the way, Twitter is undefeated. If you followed the threads last night of people and Wash saying go into the 9th with a 6-6 lead, a lot of people had fun with that. But you can misspeak all the time when you're talking in public live. Not a big deal. But when you look at if you're at that game and the pitcher's out there and he's all over the joint, and then you put on why would you put on first of all, I don't even know why we have people bunt. I really don't.
It's really bad.
They don't know how to. Cody, I would not have you go outside my house right now and say, Cody, I want you to run the 100-yard dash and whatever side. It's not what you do.
Oh, they're gonna say you want me to show me dropped on a bunt.
I live across the street from the park. I wouldn't take a basketball and say, I want you to go dunk. Because you can't do it.
Well, no faith. But you're correct. I can't.
Right? So we're asking guys to do something they don't do. A, they can't do it. B, they don't do it. And C, if they practice it, they half-ass it anyway. It's funny when people call in, by the way, 833-625-2278. You could call right now. Probably Robert's right there, and we'll take your phone call right now.
Robert's standing by.
Robert's standing by. He's got nothing to do. Talk to Robert. People call to the postgame show. Why don't we bunt? Why would you want us to bunt? What when you watch these games night in and night out makes you think we should be bunting at any point? It is something. It's like they're starting to talk about right now. If you don't know, you're going to start hearing this about how situational baseball has killed the switch hitter. We don't have a lot of switch hitters anymore. It's a dying breed. A guy that can hit right, he can hit left. Abraham Toro's a switch hitter, but there's not a lot of guys that are switch hitters anymore. Baseball doesn't want them. Baseball, it's a situational game. But things have just changed. Why would you want? And by the way, I saw this yesterday. I don't know. I actually have it in my notes from yesterday. See, that's why my wife says, why do you keep everything? You're a pack rat. You know why I keep everything? In case I'll ever need it again. In case I'll ever need it again. Did you know going into yesterday's action that the A's are tied with 3 other teams for the most sacked bunts in baseball? Did you know that?
I did not. I was just looking how many we have.
Could you even name one of the other 3 teams? You got 30 teams to choose from. You already know A's, so now it's 29 teams. You choose 3 out of 29. Can you name any of the 3?
Toronto.
No.
Baltimore.
No.
Dodgers.
No. Why? Dodgers can't be everything. You can't be your guess for everything.
I mean, are these teams good?
No.
White Sox.
Yes.
Yes. Marlins.
No.
Oh. Rockies.
Who did the Angels play?
Oh, the Cardinals.
Cardinals. And then think of the Karate Kid, Ray Jensen.
Oh, boy. The Mets.
Not the Knicks.
Not the Rangers.
Not the Rangers.
Not the Jets.
That would be the New. So it's the A's, Mets, White Sox, St. Louis. These are yesterday's notes. If someone got some sack buttons down last night, I apologize. You know who would be second by themselves after a tie for first?
The Giants.
That would be your Pittsburgh Pirates at 7.
Yeah, they lost 10-2.
People don't know how to bunt, is my point. I mean, they don't.
Well, and it's 8, right? So, I mean, we have 8.
8.
Yeah. Our team leader right now is a tie between Esty and Nick Allen.
And
2.
Esty's awful at bunting. Awful.
It doesn't look good.
Awful. And then Nick Allen's not that good at it. Like, you think Nick Allen would be good at it? He's not that good at it. They just don't bunt. They don't bunt as kids. Kids don't bunt. I live across from a Little League field. They don't bunt. Everybody's trying to hit home runs. So why are we asking? So Wash, why are you even? You got bases loaded.
I'm going to look it up. How many bunts does Luis Guillorme have in his career?
Oh, this might even be worse. I mean, he's a bad body guy. So bad body guys usually aren't bunting a whole heck of a lot.
In his career, 7.
When's the last time?
He had 2 last year with the old Metropolitans.
Okay. He had 2.
Yeah, 2 last year, 2 in 2022, 1 in 21.
But if you're at the Big A and you're watching this game and the game unfolds and all this happens, and then you go to the press conference and the manager goes, his fault, not mine. And by the way, pitcher was throwing strikes. And you're like, no, he wasn't. What are you talking about?
15 of 30 were strikes.
Like what? Like how?
31, sorry, 15 of 31.
Like you love the guy and you know he's a leader and he's a great emotional leader and he's a great teacher. I mean, Ron Washington can teach you a lot of great things. I mean, everybody who's played for him and everybody he has coached speaks the word. But you're like, when you're the manager, when you're the CEO and you say stuff that's crazy, I mean, that's crazy. That's kind of a hard one, right? Isn't that, I mean, like, think about if you're the front office or you're even ownership and you were watching that game and he goes, he said what?
It's been a really
or how about this? You're a player in the clubhouse. That's running on the TVs, and then you're going to go home. I guarantee you those Angel players, they got in their cars and their phones ringing going, hey, man, did you see the press conference? Because their friends are going to be like,
yeah, I was like, it's been a bad couple of days for the Angels. Like the day before, the video circuit all over X, formerly known as Twitter, for everyone who hasn't known they changed it. Anyway, the president of the Angels was sitting in a suite by himself while the game was going on, watching the Dallas Stars game. And like that was
playoffs.
It was all over Twitter, not watching
playoffs.
Yeah, well, Dallas Stars, because they play in close proximity.
But
to
isn't
Anaheim.
he watching the game in front of him?
The video they showed had him looking at the screen.
That's weak. I mean, we can't do 2 things at once.
I mean, you got to lock in on the Stars and Avalanche.
Oh God, Wash, what are you doing?
And then the Wash stuff.
How do you win that? I mean, how do you win the day? See, that is part, and we don't think about it, but that is part of the gig of being a manager is you got to deal with the media. You have to deal with the media. You got to deal with them before the game. You got to deal with them after the game. It's 162 times. You got to do it before the game. You got to do it after the game. And you have to be very, very careful of everything you say. Before the game, you're going to be asked about injuries. You're going to be asked about decisions. You're going to be asked about stuff that's out of your control. That's where the front offices throw managers under the bus. Moves get made. Hey, why the hell is Basso here for one day and now he's back in AAA? You got to answer that, not the front office. And then after the game, you got to answer for the moves made in the game, and they may be moves you didn't even want to make.
Well, since
I guarantee you, the pitcher walked 2 guys and you put on a suicide squeeze. That was not from the front office. That was a Wash move.
Well, since you brought it up, we might as well get to it real quick. We've brought up Aaron Brooks, who's going to start today. And
he's back.
And we recalled Hogan Harris, who just pitched in relief the other day in Vegas, from AAA Las Vegas. The A's placed left-hander Alex Wood on the 15-day injured list, retroactive to May 13th, with a left rotator cuff tendonitis, and optioned Brady Basso back to Las Vegas. Oh, he's starting tonight for the Aviators, according to the Aviators website. The clear spot on the 40-man roster, the A's transferred Darrell Hernandez to the 60-day injured list. That's not good.
Oh, he's got a bad. I mean,
the ankle. I mean, yeah.
That it takes a long time. A super high ankle sprain takes a long time.
Well, that means right now with Just Max Schumann playing short, and Nick Allen's hurt.
Sh-
Jacob Wilson can play his way on the team.
Max Schumann's what you got. It's what you got at short.
Well, Letmus is playing in AAA too, so he'll be back. He's on the 60-day, but that's coming up soon. So he's like another guy.
Well, you have Ruiz. Ruiz can play short.
And Brett Harris played a couple games, had a cup of coffee.
7 games in his minor league career?
Something like that.
Or is that with college?
It was something around there. It was like 7 or 10 with college, something
Just
like
saying a long time Brett Harris has played 7 random games at shortstop, just in case Max Schumann goes down tonight. He's played
or needs a day off.
Years ago, he attempted shortstop. I played shortstop back in the day. I think we've all played shortstop at some point.
I would volunteer to play it in softball.
Yeah, I mean, we've all at some point played shortstop. Brett Harris is in that boat.
Brett Harris in college played shortstop 12 games, and then in the minor leagues he played at 7. So 19 career games at shortstop for Brett Harris.
That's counting college.
Including college. 6 of them were starts.
7 How many minor league games has he played in his career?
Minor league games, 4 seasons. So in his career in the minor leagues, he's played. It doesn't have I'd have to add him up. He's played 341 games at third base. So he's looking around like around 400 games, something like that.
7 at short. But if Max Schumann goes down, we're good. And is Max Schumann going to need a day off at some point?
Yeah, 7 at short, 6 of them were starts. In college, he just randomly played shortstop.
He just got put in?
Yeah. I mean, we're playing right now 7 days in a row. Wait, no, because it was a row. So we're how many in a row?
I got
since last week.
I mean,
Friday, Saturday, Sunday. So it's 10 games
he's
in a row.
made a couple errors, but he's hit. I mean, Schumann's not your problem.
No.
Schumann is not the problem.
I also loved him staring into the dugout against the Mariners. We didn't really talk about that.
Did you?
Why not? It's fun.
Because you're going to get drilled.
No, Luis Castillo just blew it. I didn't even care when his first at bat the next day. I think they're over it until some random Mariner throws at him.
Until we're in a game, it's 9-1. Don't be shocked when Max Schumann gets drilled. I don't know when you're hitting under 200 in my book as a rookie hitting under 200. Yeah, if it's your guy, I always have to look at it. I've been doing this lately in the postgame show. There's Chris the fan and there's Chris the baseball guy. Which one you want?
You could be the baseball guy.
Because Chris the fan goes, yeah, that's cool. Isn't that cool? Yeah. That's the baseball fan. Chris the baseball guy is, dude, you're hitting at that time hitting under 200. You're a rookie hitting under 200. And you're one thing to stare, but the way he kept staring in, like, who are you?
Oh, you're saying he broke an unwritten rule?
No, I think that happens. Okay, I will.
growth, establishing a strong reputation as a proven intendant and validated bedrock of American finance. Kingsford Capital, down to business.
This is the place where you can dance like nobody's watching, win like nobody's business, and get away like you mean it. So what are you waiting for? Come join the party. Take that evening out and make it a night you'll never forget. This kind of action can't be beat.
This is Chris Townsend. I'm proud to announce our year 2 partnership with Link Soul. They've changed my wardrobe, and they can do the same for you. And right now, their spring collection is fabulous. Natural fabrics and versatile styles, perfect for this time of the year. And they want to introduce their performance line for golf, premium for on-course apparel design, and to keep you cool and dry. Check it all out, linksoul.com. That's linksoul.com. Remember, look good, play good.
With more sunshine returning, it's time to get outside and make the most of what Cinnabar Hills Golf Club has to offer. Like 27 championship caliber holes tucked in the beautiful hills of San Jose. And take advantage of their amazing Bay Area views for your next special event. It's all for you at Cinnabar Hills Golf Club, an award-winning venue designed to peacefully take you away from the bustle of Silicon Valley. Go to cinnabarhills.com. That's cinnabarhills.com.
If you're looking for a new mattress, Nest Bedding has you covered. Sleep on the same mattress Hall of Famer Ricky Henderson sleeps on. Nest Bedding is the #1 brand of online mattresses and the Bay Area's favorite. Times calls it their #1 pick. You can navigate their easy-to-use website, nestbedding.com. That's nestbedding.com. Green and Gold fans, use the coupon code Oakland and you get 10% off your entire order. Nest Bedding, love where you sleep.
Streaming from the studio, A's Cast Live continues with Chris Townsend.
Just a little hiccup. Just a little hiccup. That's how the internet works. We good?
Yeah, we're good.
How much of that did people hear?
I think we went out when we were talking about you started talking about the Niners and Seahawks.
So I said if a Seahawks popping off to the Niners sideline, a young first year, just a few games into his career, Seahawk is lipping off to the 49ers sideline, because that's essentially what when you turn and look into a dugout and then stare because you walked somebody before. It's kind of how it works. I asked you, I said, well, because remember, in division, they're going to play again at Levi Stadium. Do you think at some point the 49er players, when they have a chance, will try and ring that guy's bell?
Absolutely, yeah.
So that's okay in football. You understand that is, I have seen it happen with my own eyes in football. I'm just saying, don't be shocked when that happens in baseball.
Yeah. No, I'm with you.
Like even when established, because in reality, nobody likes having stuff thrown in their face.
No.
Nobody. That's not, nowhere in sports do people like that. Nobody says, oh, that's awesome. I'm so glad he did it. Right? And for some reason, the fan bases of the guy who does that, they love it and go, why are they mad? But if someone did that to us, you'd be like, that son of a beam his ass, right? So you have to look at both. That's what I'm saying. Chris, the fan, likes it. Chris, the baseball guy, goes, ooh, that's a bad luck.
Yeah, I can see. I give more of your point because I don't take into context he's hitting 200. Now, if this was a guy hitting like 350 and doing it,
you're not going to like it either.
No. But
if Bonds does it, you go, yeah, I hate that guy, but it's Bonds. If it's the guy who you don't even know, do you even know? Does anybody know who this guy is? We know him. We love Max Schumann, but he's somebody. If a guy just came up and did that to us, you think Mark Kotsay is going to be cool with that? Mark Kotsay?
No.
Shoe on the other foot. You always have to see, how does the other side see it? So that's there. That on that. We haven't even got into Blanco.
We have not. 10-game suspension now after what happened.
Well, it's automatic 10 games.
Yeah. I wonder if he's going to appeal. Can you appeal that?
Yeah.
Well, good luck, because
Backus, the umpire. Remember, these guys check this stuff. I don't have a glove on me, but give me your hands. I mean, I do this every day to human beings as an umpire. I'm checking this. I'm checking this. I have a glove somewhere. I'm checking gloves. They do it every day. So all of a sudden, when you go and do it and it's sticky, icky, I mean, seriously, right?
yeah.
That's why it's so funny. It's like, oh, it's just, it's a little rosin. I'm sweating a little bit. You don't think there's a huge difference when I go, oh, that's, I mean, if I spilt Kool-Aid all over and I went, how sticky would that be? Your floor, you're sticky. Like if I'm an umpire and all of a sudden it's sticky, they feel rosin and sweat every day. I love how guys try, I'm not doing it. You're like, come on, bro. And I saw, was it Codify? Codify or Codify? Codify.
Codify. It's one of them.
They were talking about how he had his slowest, sharpest curveball in that third inning. Remember, he got popped in the fourth of the season. He had this super spinny, tight 75-mile-an-hour curveball, the slowest, most revolutions of a curveball he had all season long, including when he threw the no-hitter. One pitch. They were just showing it. Hey, by the way, right before he got popped, he's spinning the hell out of the baseball.
Now I'm going to be interested when he comes back from the 10 games, like pretty much two starts. When he comes back, what his numbers are like then, because he was leading the Astros in everything. Now what's it going to be like when he comes back? Was he using the foreign substance all year, or is it just a one-off and he got caught?
But let's be, we're going to get to Shooty Babitt, but let's be 100% honest. If you're not cheating, you're not trying. I have no problem with it. I think it's ridiculous that hitters can have all this stuff. Hitters can have PEDs. Hitters got pine tar. Hitters got elbow pads, shin pads, ankle pads. Hitters got everything in the world, and pitchers can't use anything. It's a travesty. I'm all for it. If our guys are spider tacking sunscreen with whatever, if you're using it, I have no problem with it. None. Zero. I just want that to be officially known here on A's Cast Live. Oh, they're cheating. I have no problem with that. You don't think it's cheating when you're all armored up? Craig Biggio putting his elbow out over the plate with a big thing, knowing he's not going to feel it at all. It's a joke. I have no problem with spider tack it, whatever you do. We still haven't. Weren't we going to go to Home Depot and get some spider tack and see how that worked?
Was that last year or 2 years ago?
Yeah. So I'm all fine with it. Spin it all you want. You want to rosin it. You want to do glue. If you want to put snot on the ball, as they did in Major League back in 1989, Vagisil, I'm fine with it. Now, if you get caught, you do the time. It's 10 games. Only 7 pitchers have been caught, by the way. Did you know that? I was shocked by that.
Wasn't the first guy the Hector
Mariner.
Santiago? Is that who it was?
The Mariner.
Yeah.
Was that against us? But it was a Mariner was the first guy.
Yeah, it was a Mariner, yeah.
Scherzer got popped at Dodger Stadium.
Oh, that's right, Scherzer.
But only 7 guys since they instituted the rule. That's what I'm saying. These umpires are checking every day. And, they're like, and then all of a sudden, if you feel like, oh, my God, look, this glove is like, this thing's like sticky. You know sticky, right? It's like when you spill something on the floor and your shoes stick. Yeah. Sticky.
It's like when you
Don't tell me these umpires aren't like, bro, what are you doing here?
It's like when you walk into a bar and the floor's sticky.
What was his name? The old Mariner with the Yankee had the big glob on his neck.
Oh, that was pine tar, wasn't it? That
pine tar.
Michael Pineda.
Yeah, it was. These guys. Come on. But once again, these hitters have been cheating for years, corking their bats. They've got the sealant on the bat now. Cheat all you want, pitchers. Just don't get caught. You want to put a little slice on the ball. You want to do it. I have no problem with that.
What's Eddie Harris saying? Maybe like, I get a little jalapeno, I get my nose running.
You put snot on the ball? Vagisil. Yeah, Gaylord Perry. Yeah. What's the problem?
Patna.
What's the problem? I don't see the problem. Shooty Babitt. Because what happens is Shooty goes away. Like, because speaking of golf, I like the new Link Soul shirt, Spring.
I like that one.
Huh? Got like little palm trees on it. Little Link Soul. Shooty Babitt's a golf partner of mine. Shooty Babitt, though, just disappears. You don't know where he goes. He doesn't answer his phone. He doesn't return texts. And then all of a sudden, poof, he reappears. And he comes back to life. And he's back on television wearing his beautiful suits. So when Shooty's back, we have him right here on A's Cast Live. Super Scout. He is a television personality. I don't know what this man can't do. The great Shooty Babitt joins us here on A's Cast Live. You will see him today on A's pre- and post-game live on NBC Sports California. He's out of the bushes. He's in suits again. He's doing TV. How are you, Shooty?
I am doing fantastic, Towny. Once again, very happy to be with you. Very good to be back in the Bay Area on another beautiful day here. And just enjoying today. Today is great, man. So A's baseball, suit and ties, little pocket hanky. Don't get much better than that.
All right. On your travels, were we looking at some of the A's teams? Were you looking at other people? What did you find? What did you see in your travels?
A little bit of both. My responsibilities are seeing minor league players in A-ball, AA, and AAA. I was fortunate enough to match up the A's watching the Tulsa ball club of the Dodgers. And it's always good to see the better organizations with the better minor league players match up against yours, because the players get an opportunity to see where they match up. I was in that position as a minor leaguer, and I knew what it was like to play against the Dodgers, or when we played against Willie McGee and Dave Righetti and Brian Doyette and Buck Showalter and Andy McGaffigan. And you remember those guys because those are really good players at the AA level. And pretty much if you go in there and bust some heads and get off, put up some numbers in AA, AAA, you don't even have to see that place, because it pretty much lets you know where you're headed. So it's always good. I saw Asturi Ruiz a couple of years back in AA. I saw Ryan Noda when he was having one of his better minor league years, and so on. I could bring names up all over the place, but that's what I do. And that's what I got a chance to do this past 12 days. And so now I'm just taking a deep breath and inhale, exhale, and get back out there and see what else I can find.
What'd you think of what you saw in Midland?
Interesting. I think it's a very interesting time with the organization right now because, through the draft and some of the players that we've gotten by trade, it's really created a lot of depth in the minor leagues. But in the same breath, most of those kids are young. And with all the injuries that have been taking place at the major league level, it's so amazing to watch what's going on as far as development and what has to go, all the player movement. I saw one kid, Basso, while I was in Midland, get called up to Las Vegas, and before he can even get his bag packed, they changed their mind. And next thing you know, he's back in Vegas, and now he's in the big leagues. And this is all in 4 days.
Oh, by the way, he's back in the minor leagues. They already
oh, my God. Unbelievable.
One day.
Hey, but you know what? Once a big leaguer, always a big leaguer. He'll have a story to tell if he never gets there. I feel badly for the kid because his dad is a former scout, and I know how happy, and he should talk about his son just wanting to get an opportunity. Why would he get a chance? And he finally did, and so I'm happy for the kid. But he'll get back. But it was good. One guy that really kind of stood out. Two guys. I only got a chance to see Jacob Wilson for 2 days, and he was just absolutely incredible in everything that he did on a baseball field. It would be, I think it would be unfair to compare him to Bobby Witt Jr., but he has that type of presence on the field. Battler in the box, not going to take a close pitch for strike 3, not going to complain, going to scrap, going to bat, going to hit some seeds, going to hit the ball to right field, going to play dynamic shortstop. Got a chance to get even more physical. He's rangy and long. He's got, like I say, I'm a presence guy, and the disposition this kid carries himself. I was impressed. Cody Thomas, outfielder's a lot. I kind of say built like Ramon Laureano a little bit because he's got those muscular legs and he's, not a tall guy, stocky guy. Yeah. And he's arrogant in the box. You're talking about confidently arrogant, and I liked it. He ran everything out. He played hard. Just kind of a reflection of the type of players that the A's have been signing. So I was pretty much encouraged by some of the things that I saw there. I think that, it's a lot of movement. I just want to tip my hat to the organization for being able to provide players, because it's already difficult trying to go out and acquire players when you have depth, but you always want to get more players because you have to prepare for these things. But when they happen, man, I mean, it's a trickle-down effect from rookie ball all the way back up to the big leagues, or the big leagues all the way down to the minor leagues. So, Sprague, his group of guys in player development, I mean, they're doing a tremendous job. Their phone is never turned off. With all that being said, and with the big league club now, we still wear the losses as like if we were a championship-type club. And that's one thing that I've been able to feel this vibe since I've been over here for this 5 years, is that, hey, man, this team, I don't care who's on the roster, who's on the field, they expect to go out and win, and they don't make any excuses. So it's been an interesting year thus far. And, man, everybody's dealing with injuries right now. So we can have another conversation, about how my feeling is about injuries in baseball right now. But we're talking about the green and gold right now, and the future is bright. You got some young ponies down there. You hope they're turning into stallions when it's time to open up the place in a real corral, wherever you're going to be. So I'm looking forward to seeing that when that day comes. So let's just take it day by day and enjoy everything that's happening on the field right now.
I saw Jacob Wilson at spring training. I called some games that he played in against big league players at spring training. His numbers are off the charts. Should I be this excited?
Well, from my understanding, the one thing that they were a little concerned about is that he had a 5% walk rate at one time. Man, I don't want him walking. I want him to continue creating damage.
Blows my mind. David Forster at us. I'm like, David, he's hitting 423. Well, he's only walked once. I'm like, because he's hit, he doesn't have time to walk.
Hey, I'm big on bloodlines. I'm big on guys who's been around the game since they were kids, lived in the clubhouse, and their dads were pretty good players. Jack Wilson had a really good career with the Pirates and some other teams he played for after that. But when the kid comes this quickly, and no matter where you put him or test him, and he's performing, I mean, the skills speak for themselves. It'd be easy to analyze it and throw some numbers and angles and all that kind of stuff toward it. But just watch him play, and it's a lot to be excited about. It really is.
When you have seen a guy dominate the minor leagues out of college, and he's clearly been head and shoulders above the competition he's playing, how long do you think a guy like that, and I know each case is different, but how long do you think a guy like that needs to be in the minor leagues?
I think there's an adjustment period. I truly believe the good ones get there quickly. It doesn't take much time. There was a time when there was a transition period from the guys getting used to using wood bats after using metal bats for the last how many years and in college. But because of the summer leagues that they play in and the availability and the preparation to make toward being a professional, is not that hard of a transition. But just like a high school kid needing 4 years down there, it's a little different because you need to learn the life. You need to learn to understand it. There's a total different way of preparing. There's a total different way of taking care of your body. It's way more games. It's more expected out of you. And at this point, the way that they're treating young professionals, the bar is even raised even higher when they haven't even learned how to break their glove in properly. So the individuals, I mean, it's a big man game, and it's always been a strong man's game. I don't care. The little guys you look at, they may be small out there, but their game is strong. And so unless you're ready to be able to continue to impose your strength and your will and your skill, then you will get exposed very quickly. So I think, as I spoke, at the AA level, even these guys coming straight out of college, they still need a year or two. And I think the thing that's probably the most difficult thing, Towny, that I faced in evaluating players to understand the age limit and the growth and the time of when they should get there is because of what the pandemic did. Because it shut kids down for basically 2 years of natural born professional competition. And it's a lot different than that stuff that they were trying to do. And they did the best they could to keep the kids active and their bodies, but there's no replacement for game action. And so just say, like, if you have a 22-year-old kid, I was 22 when I got a chance to play in the big league. So, I got to kind of erase that a little bit because I understand the path of playing against college guys that came out the same time I did. They weren't ready for about 3 or 4 years. So 25 is not bad. So now you got guys that are 24, 25 in A-ball, and you got to look at them this way. But, hey, they missed some time. So, man,
yeah, that's heavy stuff.
It's tough, bro. But, hey, like I said, cream rise to the top. Now, wherever you put it in milk, it rises to the top.
Well, that's a tough thing because, we don't like looking at players in their 30s anymore. And if you're somebody that lost essentially 2 years because of COVID, I feel bad for anybody who was in the minor leagues, who was in college, who was in high school during that time because they got robbed.
I totally agree. I think you hiding the point that I was trying to make. I mean, yeah, man, we look at the high school senior. I mean, it's just, it's too bad. So I think everybody have to take a different view of how they evaluate a player. Strength matters. I mean, you're playing with grown men out here, and you're talking about guys that are fighting for their futures and college education and marriages and everything else. And then you got this kid that comes to the big leagues like Halliday, that's 18 years old, 19 years old, and with men, and there ain't no league bigger than this league right here. And it lets you know right away. I don't care how good you were in the minor leagues. If you're not ready, if you're not prepared to perform at the major league level, you will get exposed very quickly.
All right. All this StatCast info has dropped on us from a hitting standpoint. When we start talking about the tool that you're using is the bat. How well do you swing it? How fast do you swing it? How do you make contact? When you look at all this information, because I've heard some people go and some ex-players who have said, if you got a bunch of guys just swinging as hard as they can, but they don't make good contact, it doesn't matter how hard you swing, right? So when you look at all this information that's going to these young players, as a scout, obviously you want them to use this information correctly, but sometimes they don't. So how much do you worry about when too much data is put on young people that don't know how to use it?
For my level of professionalism and what I'm doing, I'm scouting professionals. I think it's a injustice for the simple fact that every player who ever pick up a bat holds it, feels differently in their hand than any other guy standing next to them. And I think, first of all, to be able to hit is a gift. There's a bat to ball, there's a feel, there's a level of no fear whatsoever, because anytime you have any fear at all as a hitter, you're done. When you start telling me about, I had this conversation with Orlando Cepeda about 20 years ago. So I've had an opportunity, and I don't consider myself to be the greatest player, but I've been around a whole lot of knowledge and a whole lot of great players, and I've got a chance to sit in rooms and listen to some people that have been the best, and it's allowed me to be able to broaden my horizon, if you will. And people have the difference between bat speed and a fast bat confused. Some people think that fast bat is bat speed. No, we were talking about there because somebody was just up there swatting, just swatting. They just swinging. Bat speed is how quickly you can get it from the ready position, your ready position, to the ball where it makes that impact. So, man, look at here. Don't get much better than that. But if you're built a certain way where you can get it that that quick and some extension. So it takes time. It takes so much effort. It takes so much preparation to find your swing in order to be able to compete. Okay. Now, how did you get to pro ball? How did you get to college? Because let me tell you something. We're talking about KD the other night. Crush, if you will, that don't know who I'm talking about. And when he was 12 years old, 11 years old, he built like a kangaroo. One of my scout buddies knew his dad real well. He said, man, you got to see Rodney's son. I said, what are you talking about? Man, this dude got some power. This dude can swing that thing. He could. I said, man, so we talking, where you going to play? He said, man, I don't know. We don't know. He can't throw. He run funny. But you know what? Watch him swing that thing. He still can't play no defense after about $70 million in his pocket.
That's why I'm worried about him working on cars. I'm worried for him.
Hey, no. Hey, you know he's going to be in a good mood when he do it. Look. Was that swing, was that hitch and go, was that step in the bucket a little bit? Was that a little unique? Was that a little different? Can you imagine them trying to change him? So I think it's great when people can pass along what they see, that they feel, and is scientifically backed up by this and that. I was talking to Brody. We were on a pregame, I think, and I told him I was fortunate to be in the fantasy camp with Bill Nye, the science guy. I mean, this is Bill Nye, the science guy. Okay? And if he can't figure out how to hit scientifically, I don't want to hear it from nobody else. And he still can't hit. And he was in there a week with some of the best Mariners and A's players that ever played in a uniform.
How is Brody's bat speed?
He didn't get a chance to play long. He blew his hammy out.
First at bat.
First at bat. He still ain't the same.
Hey, let's end on this because I know you got to go, and we got to go too. Have you thought about, since the last time we talked, where I mentioned about how many human beings that you have evaluated in your time, not only what they are physically, but who they are mentally, who they are socially, how they communicate, how they are in life, how they are with the people around them, their parents, their girlfriends, their teachers, their peers, all the different people you have evaluated. Have you thought about that?
To a certain degree, and it's kind of scary at times, man, because it's like after a while you get a pretty good feel for people. Sometimes you get it right, sometimes you get it wrong, but sometimes you run into people that just FOIT, if you know what I mean, full of you know what, and it comes across right away, and you're like, gee, Renee, you can't fake the funk, like youngsters used to say, fake it till you make it. No, you make it. And you'll never have made it because you done faked your way and you don't even know what you did that allowed you to make it, because that's going to keep you there. You may rush up there right quick, fake it and made it, but you fading right back down because you got nothing, no foundation, nothing to lean on. So I kind of take all that in consideration in my scout trial. When I'm looking at players, when I watch the way they take the field, the way they embrace their team, the way they go about it, just, man, because I think everything that you do that I can see on the baseball field, something is going to tell me something about your guts, your character. Can I project you being this player that it's going to take to be in the baddest field in the world? No league bigger than this one, Towny. So I guess I got an encyclopedia, all that kind of stuff you talking about, bro. So, yeah, man, a lot of folk, way too many.
That's why you're the best. Have a good show today, Shooty. We'll talk to you soon, buddy.
Hey, thanks for having me. Anytime, Towny. All right, bro.
Whether it's a midweek trip to the ballpark to catch a game or a weekend of baseball for the family, grab your tickets for an A's game this season. Secure your seats today for all the biggest matchups, fireworks, drone shows, giveaways, and more. Don't miss out on all the things happening this season.
Throws and Seth. It's a drive into center. It's deep, and Straw is back at the track. He will turn and watch it fly.
So grab yours now at athletics.com/tickets. That's athletics.com/tickets.
Where does one community end and the next begin? Across the railroad tracks? on the other side of the river? Is it between the east side and the west side? At Comerica Bank, we believe it's all one community, and we're all part of it. That's why Comerica has invested over $20 million for affordable housing, financial education, and workforce development in lower-income communities. Because when we raise expectations for everyone, we all rise. Member FDIC, Equal Opportunity Lender.
Baseball season is officially here, and there's no better time to build your collection of Topps trading cards. Topps packs feature everything from top stars, rookies, game-used memorabilia, and autographs from players around the league, as well as special inserts and surprises. Visit your local hobby shop, retailers, and Topps.com to collect the first product of the season, Topps Baseball Series 1. Follow @Topps on social media to join the conversation and start sharing your collection today.
This is the place where you can dance like nobody's watching, win like nobody's business, and get away like you mean it. So what are you waiting for? Come join the party. Take that evening out and make it a night you'll never forget. This kind of action can't be beat.
Hi, fans. This season, Kingsford Capital Management is the official hedge fund sponsor of the Oakland A's. At Kingsford, down to business is their way of seeing the world. Investing has its pitfalls, treacherous chasms of half-truth and despair. Kingsford's mission is to create opportunity through application of proven innovation and entrepreneurial focus with trust, tenacity, loyalty, and growth, establishing a strong reputation as a proven intendant and validated bedrock of American finance. Kingsford Capital, down to business.
With the sunshine returning, it's time for golf, and more golf at Cinnabar Hills Golf Club. Cinnabar Hills is also your destination for great food with their beautiful renovated restaurant and quality craft beer selection at their full bar. Featuring a grass driving range and 27 championship caliber holes, Cinnabar Hills Golf Club is the best public course in the Bay Area. For more information, go to cinnabarhills.com. That's cinnabarhills.com.
This is Chris Townsend. There are two things that are a must for me: comfort and style. Whether I'm playing golf, going to dinner, I've got to have the right feel. That's why I've partnered with Linksole, and you're going to love Linksole. They have just released their new spring line, new fabrics for their polos, lightweight and perfect for technical performance. Linksole also has new styles for their layers and hoodies with cool prints and seasonal colors. You know what they say in the big leagues: look good, play good. Go to linksole.com. That's linksole.com.
You deserve extra. Extra Mile is where you get it. You don't just deserve breakfast. You deserve extra fresh Mile 1 coffee just the way you like it. You deserve more than a quick bite. You deserve an extra satisfying array of hot foods, extra good snacks, and fountain drinks that help you go the extra mile. Plus, with Extra Mile rewards, you can earn free stuff. Visit Extra Mile at select Chevron and Texaco locations. See program terms and conditions for details.
If you're looking for a new mattress, Nest Bedding has you covered. Sleep on the same mattress Hall of Famer Ricky Henderson sleeps on. Nest Bedding is the #1 brand of online mattresses and the Bay Area's favorite mattress store. Take home the Easy Breather pillow. The New York Times calls it their #1 pick. You can navigate their easy-to-use website, nestbedding.com. That's nestbedding.com. Green and gold fans, use the coupon code Oakland, and you'll get 10% off your entire order. Nest Bedding. Love where you sleep.
If you're looking for a great place to eat and watch games, go see our friends at the Chicken Pie Shop of Walnut Creek. The Chicken Pie Shop is one of the hottest restaurants in Walnut Creek. You're not going to find a better menu, and come try the world-famous chicken pie that has been served in Southern California for 86 years. Spacious indoor and outdoor dining, perfect for your next private party or corporate event. Don't forget free parking. For more information, go to chickenpieshopwc.com. That's chickenpieshopwc.com.
And the underdogs Oakland Athletics win their first championship since they were in Philadelphia in 1930.
Hi, I'm Raleigh Fingers, Hall of Famer, 3-time World Series champion with the Oakland A's and World Series MVP. Winning takes teamwork, skill, and heart. So when you need an ace for a personal injury lawyer that will win you the game, go with the winning team. Call Venardi Zerata at 833-VZ-for-me. Or go to vzlawfirm.com. Venardi Serrata, the official injury law firm of the Oakland A's.
Like sports, business is about winning. Championship decisions are business decisions based on what it takes to help your company win. And that's why there's UBO Business Services, specializing in helping you win every day by streamlining workflows, managing documents, and providing the best-in-class office technology. Make your championship decision with UBO Business Services. Visit them at ubeo.com. That's ubeo.com.
The A's YouTube page is your go-to destination for A's video content. Get access to great highlights, exclusive behind-the-scenes content, classic games, A's Cast Live, and more. Visit youtube.com/athletics.
You're listening to A's Cast Live. Here's Chris Townsend.
A lot to get into today that we haven't gotten into.
Oh, whoops. I don't know what happened there.
Okay, you were at the Giants-Dodgers game last night.
There was.
Okay.
You mean that butt kicking that the Dodgers put on?
But there is something going on in baseball that I don't think you can explain. Speaking of butt kickings. Like, 2002 was a long time ago.
22 years ago, yes.
Right? I got married in 01. A lot of things have happened since 02. I've had 2 kids. I'm in a different house. I was working at KMBR at the time. I mean, a lot in my life has changed since 02. Where were you in 02?
8th grade.
You were in 8th grade. Where were all of you in 02? I want everybody to sit back. Everybody take a deep breath. What was I doing in 2002? Just think about it. What were you doing? Where were you in life? 2002. That was the Moneyball year. The A's would win 20 straight. Giambi was gone. 2002. Where were you? Were you in school? Grade school, high school, college, young, teenager, young adult. Maybe you were old, which means you're a lot older now. We good?
Was that the Raiders Super Bowl year? 02?
Against the Bucks?
Yeah. Was that 02?
Was that 01 or 02?
That would have been
Where was it? In San Diego.
Yeah, that's when what's his name went there.
The great John Gruden. And the Buccaneers will tell you it's like they knew every play. Because remember, it's the season and then the Super Bowl. They're not the same years.
This 2003 Super Bowl was the Bucks and Raiders, but also the 2002 season.
2002 season, 2003 Super Bowl. That was the first year of the Raiders for the great Raider Vito.
Oh, wow. Talk about a great first year.
Vittorio DiBartolo, who now works for the A's, that was his first year with the Raiders. He goes to the Super Bowl. How many Super Bowls would he see after that?
Super Bowls, how many playoff berths?
How many winning seasons?
Playoff wins.
Playoffs.
How many quarterbacks? By the way, Raiders Saints play this year.
Oh, the Bayou Raiders against the Raiders?
Derek Carr and against his whole team.
Okay.
That's what the rumor is.
2002, at some point, madness has happened between the Yankees and the Twins. 2002, all the humans have changed. It's 2 organizations. New York's in New York. Minnesota's in Minnesota. Both of them have new ballparks. So we're not even talking same ballparks. We're talking different human beings, different ballparks. Everything's different. Everything changes. My point is everything changes. How is it possible that the Yankees keep kicking the Twins' ass every year? It's crazy, right?
Yeah, the Twins have been down bad against the Yankees for.
Do you want to know how bad? Including postseason. Since 2002, the Yankees have the highest single winning percentage against an opponent, minimum 50 games. Since 2002, the Yankees are 118-44 against the Twins.
Oh my God.
118. That's like a college football. That's That's like the old days, like Oklahoma against Kansas, where literally Barry Switzer, Bud Wilkerson, if you really want to go back, Bud Wilkerson, then Barry Switzer against a Kansas team. OU's paying all their guys. OU's winning national championships, and Kansas can barely win a game. That's what that's like. It's like an old college football where one team has no shot against the other team. The Yankees are 118-44 against the Twins since 2002. That's a winning percentage of .728. This is professional sports. .728 winning percentage for 22 years, including playoffs.
I don't know why my mind went here, but when you think of those two teams, who's the first player that comes to your head that played for both?
That played for both?
Yeah.
Dave Winfield.
It's a good one. I was thinking more Chuck Knobloch. You can go Carl Pavano.
I would not be going Carl Pavano.
Right, Pavano was a twin, wasn't he?
Great twin, yeah. Great twin slash, I mean, to me, I think Winfield. Mr. May.
Look, we're going full immaculate grid on the fly.
I'd go Winfield.
Sonny Gray.
Would not think Sonny Gray. That's the problem with the immaculate grid. It's all really pitchers. I always think position players for some reason. Chuck Knobloch. Who else was a great twin?
Torrey Hunter was never a Yankee. Was Jock Jones?
Gary Gaetti? No.
Jock Jones ever a Yankee?
Dan Gladden. No Harmon Killebrew. Former A's broadcaster, Harmon Killebrew. No Rod Carew. Give me great Yankees and Twins. But that is insane. This is Major League Baseball, and since 2002, the Yankees have beat them at a .728 clip, and it's not like the Twins stink. They've been good. They've had all kinds of playoff runs. They were good through the 2000s.
Greg Nettles.
Nettles was a twin? When was that?
3 seasons he played for the Twins.
Couldn't have ever told you that.
Hold on. Jim Cott.
Jim Kitty Cott. Never would have known that.
Let's see. I always look at the WAR.
Ron Washington ever play for the Yankees?
Ron Washington? Let's see.
Washington was a twin. How about Billy Bean? Chili Davis is a good one.
Billy Bean I don't think Billy Bean was a Yankee. He was a Met.
Yankee. Chili Davis is a great twin Yankee.
Matt Lawton. Okay. Doug Mankiewicz.
Are you missing Chili Davis?
No, I
former A's hitting coach Chili Davis, now retired.
Let's see. I'm just going through Gio Urshela, Don Baylor.
Did Don Baylor play for every team in baseball?
I don't think
he played for a lot.
I don't think he was ever a Pirate.
Don Baylor played for a lot of teams.
Billy Martin.
Billy Martin was a twin?
Yeah.
Did not know that.
Josh Donaldson, our friend.
Oh, Kevin No Moss, one of the great Bay Area guys. Josh Donaldson. Wow, I didn't think of that.
There's Chili Davis.
Yeah, Chili Davis, a great player. Won a World Series with him in '91. Sweet music. Frank Viola was never a Yankee.
Yeah, I'm just going through. These are all the position players.
All right, doesn't matter. All right. Have you heard of anything like that?
No.
I mean, you're talking an extended period of time where hockey, basketball, football, a major league franchise dominance over another major league franchise. I'm going to have to do this for my third inning hit. This is crazy. They're beating him at a .728 clip for 20 years. Over 20 years, 22 years.
The last time the Twins were good against the Yankees, Everyday Eddie was their closer. That's how long we're going back. I was trying to think it was on that Twins team back then.
What year?
Was that? You said 02, right? Since 02. I'm thinking of like 02. Presso Gordano.
They're like good. Remember the A's?
Torrey Hunter.
A's beat him in 06 in the postseason. Yeah. Then they had their run later with Mauer and Morneau and those guys. So they've had good teams.
Yeah. They had a team in 19 that slugged all the home runs.
The what was their net? The
Bomba Squad.
The Bomba Squads. To this date, that Twins team has the most home runs ever hit in a single season.
Yeah, 307.
Yeah, they hit the most home runs in the history of baseball.
Did they end up losing to the Yankees in the first round?
No. Again, You can't even make this up.
Because remember, they were like,
I can't wait. Dave Feldman, if you're listening, text. Has there ever been dominance?
Yeah, they got swept in the first round of the Yankees.
Has there ever been dominance over one team over another for this period of time? A 728? I mean, 600 is a lot. Like a 575. I mean, 700? You're beating them over 7 every single 10 times. You're beating them at least 7 times.
All right, so since 03, here's how many times they lost to the Yankees in the playoffs. 03, 04, 09, 10, 17, 19. So how many times? That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 times in the postseason, and they only beat them twice in the postseason. They got 4 straight times they got swept.
I mean, you can't say it enough.
Well, remember they lost how many playoff games in a row?
They have a 728 winning percentage. Like I said, this is like Oklahoma and Nebraska against K-State or Kansas back in the day.
K-State, wow. Manhattan, Kansas.
You may not remember this. There was years ago before Bill Snyder got there. There was a front page, the worst college football program in America, K-State. K-State was so bad.
Oh, boy.
So bad. Big 8 to Big 12 football back then. Yeah, they had no chance. There was no chance. The only way K-State was beating Nebraska or Oklahoma back in the day is if Oklahoma and Nebraska's bus broke down or the plane couldn't take off. That's the only – if the jerseys and the helmets of Oklahoma and Nebraska showed up, the game was over. That's what this is like.
So you're telling me Darren Sproles was never walking through those doors?
This is not Darren Sproles.
Colin Klein.
Michael Bishop was the quarterback.
Wow.
It's not you like that poll? That's an Arena Football League poll by
wasn't Tyler Lockett a quarter? Wasn't he the receiver at Kansas State? The Seahawks.
We're going deep into K-State football. Remember, they should have won they had a chance to win the national title, and they lost late in the Big 12 championship game.
Yeah.
If they didn't lose that game, they would have played for the national title. Michael Bishop, Darren Sproles. Hey, Darren Sproles is too small for the NFL. To your baseball, if Darren Sproles is a baseball player, StatCast would have hated him.
He would have been Luis Ariz.
Do you have okay career?
I think so.
One of the great third down backs of all time. Eagles, Chargers. Who else did he play for?
Eagles, Chargers. Was he a Saint?
Darren Sproles was a menace. Third down, you're like, oh, just don't give it to that guy. Oh, there he goes. And he could be a Hall of Famer. If there was war in football, he'd have one hell of a war because he was productive as hell. They said he was too small to play in the NFL, wasn't good enough to play in the NFL, and he played till he was 36.
Chargers, Saints, Eagles. Yeah.
He was amazing. How tall was he?
5'6".
Yeah, he said he wasn't big enough, and he played till he was 36 years old, maybe a Hall of Famer, son. Maybe the Hall of Good, but Darren Sproles, great example of your StatCast. StatCast wouldn't have loved him.
3-time All-Pro.
You wouldn't have loved him.
He was on the All 2010s team.
You know the thing, I mean, obviously the biggest thing for me with those StatCast numbers is who barrels it with speed. The whole bat speed thing to me is irrelevant because you look at the guys with bat speed and half the guys you see there, they can't hit. Our number one bat speed guy we just sent to AAA.
Correct, Lawrence Butler.
I was using the example. I think one of the great, who's got the smooth, like when you think smooth swing, do you think power and bat speed? Because too many people, when they think bat speed right now, they think Giancarlo Stanton just through the zone, and he's got no shot. He's not making contact. When you think smooth, just that smooth rhythm, but it's power. It makes me think of Fred Couples. I know a lot of you don't like golf, but Fred Couples pounded it as hard as anybody, and he looked like he was hardly swinging it. But he did have tremendous club head speed. It was just Will Clark.
Yeah.
Like Will Clark, you would never say, I don't even know what it is. We don't even know. But Will Clark had tremendous pop and hit the you-know-what out of the ball, and it was just a long, fluid swing.
Griffey had a good swing.
Ken Griffey Jr., Ken Griffey looked like he had bad speed. That's why I don't know if Ken would be a good example. Kenny looked like he was hitting it, you know what, out of the ball.
What about Giambi?
Giambi was a big dude swinging hard.
I used to love Giambi saying he'd swing and
like
the one-hand finish.
Canseco would be a great. I'm swinging hard. Look like I'm swinging hard, and I'm making contact. Canseco was great. You know I love my guy Jose right here. I love Jose. Can't wait till he goes into the A's Hall of Fame. That's going to be a speech of speeches.
Yeah, it's coming up this summer.
But like smooth swing, like Will Clark. You know who another guy? And I would have to go to another Mississippi State Bulldog. I did not do steroid. Rafael Palmeiro had a smooth swing. He was just through the zone. Boom. Great pop. He had over 500 home runs.
And 3,000 hits.
So there are guys that they don't look like they're swinging hard. But they got bat speed and they got pop. But that is the whack. I mean, you look at the old videos, Ted Williams doesn't look like he's swinging hard. And God knows that man had bat speed for days.
I don't think Ichiro swung the bat that hard.
But that's the whole thing. It's the solid contact. You got it. That's the thing to me. Do you make solid contact? Because that was the best thing was people started Twitter's undefeated. Next thing you know, all these highlights of Luis Arraez at 58 miles an hour, serving them all over the place, bringing in runs. Going, yeah, you want that guy? You want Stephen Kwan? Or you want to pay $8 bazillion to watch your guy, Giancarlo Stanton, strike out? What would you rather watch on a daily basis?
I'm leaning more towards watching Arraez. He's putting the ball in play.
Yeah, you know who's not one of the top guys? Where's Ohtani on that top?
Oh, which one? Bat speed?
Yeah. Where's Ohtani on that?
Shohei is, let's do it this way. It's easier.
So he's not top 10.
Shohei is 17th.
Where's Mookie Betts? Speaking of your Dodgers last night.
Oh, boy, Ohtani. 176th. Where's Freddie Freeman?
107. Mookie
127.
Betts. Mookie Betts is 176. He's walking right into the Baseball Hall of Fame, and he's 176 in bat speed.
Can you imagine if they want a writer goes, I didn't vote for him. He didn't swing the bat hard enough.
Kirby Puckett, he didn't. Speaking of Twins.
Where's that? Well, you know, where's Max Muncy's 115th. I'm just thinking of like Dodger hitter. Where's Will Smith? 160. Oh, it's Josh.
Dude, Freddie Freeman's 160.
No, Freeman's a little higher. 187.
You just had him up there. Put him up there.
120. Oh, so that's Tyler Freeman. Sorry, yeah, 160.
Freddie Freeman's 160. Can't play.
Bellinger's 161.
These Dodgers have no chance. These Dodgers have no chance. They got absolutely no. They got bat speed. Ohtani didn't have any bat speed. I can't believe they paid him.
Yeah, but you know who's really high on the list?
Juan Soto.
Matt Chapman.
Oh, God.
Chappie didn't look good last night either.
Hey, how do you feeling if you're a Giants fan right now?
What do you mean?
Not what your buddy who's a complete lunatic.
Everything's fine.
Realistically, if you're a Giants fan, how are you feeling right now? How are friends across the bay feeling right now?
From what I've read on social media, a lot of guys.
Yeah, I'm not asking how X feels. How do you feel if you're a Giants fan right now?
I'd be concerned. Pitching has been great. They have so many guys hurt. Jung-Hoo Lee.
Dude, everybody's hurt.
Jung-Hoo Lee might be out for the year.
Everybody's got injuries.
Jorge Soler hit a foul ball off his head last night. Like, oh my God.
Dodgers go for the series sweep. They've won all 5 meetings against the Giants. With a win, the Dodgers could join the Phillies as the only 30-win team in the majors. The Dodgers have won 17 of their past 21. Do we want to go back again to spring training when Giants, Padres, D-backs were all lipping off how they're I'm not going to say the Dodgers are the favorite. Remember that? We hear this every year. Oh, they're not the favorite.
I heard somebody on Caltrain on the way home yesterday. She goes, "So you can spend all that money you want. We got 3 rings." Like, those rings were 10 years ago. Oh, and remember that 107-win season where you thought you were better than the Dodgers? Who knocked your ass out? The Dodgers did.
Holding on to 2014, huh?
That was 10 years ago.
10 years ago. By the way, Giants have lost 10 of their last 12 against the Dodgers.
It's not great.
I understand playoffs, a lot of stuff can happen. But if you're in the National League West it's just we've heard it. Like Padres beat the Dodgers in the playoffs. They claim they slayed the dragon. How'd that work? What have they won? 11 out of 12? Is it 11 out of 12?
Yeah, division titles. Yeah.
I mean, they are sniffing, which I never thought we'd never see. Atlanta won at what, 14 out of 15?
Yeah.
I never thought that we'd see that again. And that we're about to see that again. Because I don't know who in the next few years is going to step up and beat the Dodgers. By the way, they had a ton of injuries. They don't even know who's starting for that. I don't know. They're winning every game.
Yeah. By the way, Dodgers going bullpen game today against the Giants.
All right. We are going to test David Feldman. He may have an answer.
Let's find out.
He's our historian. He's the TV guru. I couldn't believe I saw it. Feldy, how are you?
Good, Towny. How are you doing?
I'm doing well. I read this in the notes today, and I could not believe it. It made me think of course, people need to realize from baseball to football to basketball, you've been working around professional sports and college sports for how many years in television?
Over 30 years now.
Okay, so I said this is like the old days, Oklahoma and Nebraska against Kansas or K-State. If you remember back in those days, those teams had no shots to beat Oklahoma or Nebraska.
True.
This is before Bruce Snyder showed up, right?
Yeah.
This is they were bad. The Yankees since 2002 have beaten the Twins, including postseason, 118-44. That's a winning percentage of 728.
Yeah.
That's 22 years of a winning percentage of 728 in major league sports, one team over another. Have you ever seen something like this?
No, and then you got to include in that number, because I saw that number, does include the postseason where the Yankees just destroyed them. I mean, where the Twins never even got a lead in a game. This one-sidedness for this long, this 22 years of this, is pretty remarkable. And I don't know if there's been this much of ownage of one team of another. And we're talking a good Twins team, right? Yeah. This isn't bad Twins teams. This is playoff Twin teams that just get destroyed by the Yankees.
Like, I can't say it enough. The human beings have changed over and over again. They've both moved to different ballparks. I mean, there's a lot of variables that have changed during this time to have one team beat another team at a clip of 728.
Yeah, it's a ridiculous number, right? It's a little bit, think about what the A's have dealt with the Astros, right, who have won 18 of the last 22. The Mariners, who have just destroyed the A's really since 2006. It's kind of like that, but on steroids, where it's that much worse over this long of a time. Imagine losing to the Astros for 22 years like this. You'd go insane. But that's what's happened to the Twins. This is what's happened to them against the Yankees, that for 22 years, they could just not beat this team.
Yeah, this is like Bud Wilkerson and Barry Switzer at Oklahoma against K-State. The only way they're losing is if the bus breaks down.
Yeah, what was it in basketball? It was Syracuse against Colgate. I think won like 54 straight years. I think they beat them. I mean, something just absurd, right? And bringing locally UCLA against Cal basketball. Now, I know you're going to be a big Cal guy now, but part of the history of Cal and UCLA was Cal's long losing streak to UCLA that was finally in the 80s. They finally stopped it at 40-some games.
I'm officially a Cal investor.
Yeah, you are. You're an investor in Cal.
Not once, but twice. The checks are already being written. Oh my God. Now I got to get football tickets. I got to get basketball. I mean, this whole thing is, I didn't realize, because I was very fortunate. I had a scholarship. My parents didn't have to pay anything. I didn't realize college is really expensive.
Yeah, think about when you went there. What, you saved your parents, what, a couple $100? I mean, this is crazy as you're finding out in real time how expensive a UC school can be, even for a local kids like yours.
I the private school route, like some of these kids that my children are going to school with, and they're like, oh yeah, their parents are going to be shelling out like 75,000. You're like, what?
Yeah, insane.
Where'd you go to school?
Well, where didn't I go to school, Towny? I started at San Diego State, enjoyed the beach, didn't get a lot of learning done, and then ended up going to University of Maryland which was fantastic.
Yeah?
But I did not get in-state status, so I couldn't stay there, couldn't afford to stay there. They kicked me back to the West Coast, and then attended San Francisco State for a little while.
Well, you got you were like a free agent.
A little bit.
Yeah, you got to see the country. You got to see the country. All righty, we ready for our top 10? This is a good one.
This is a really good one. This is a little different. It's caught up because of Chris Davis. Chris Davis, who just announced his retirement, homered in his final at bat as an Oakland Athletic. Turned out to be his final major league at bat. But it made us start thinking, who are some of the other players who homered in their final at bat as an Oakland A?
There's a lot?
There's more than you would think. Now, not all of these were their final major league at bat. Some guys went on to still play, but a few of them are the final major league at bat.
Okay, your final at bat as an A in Oakland.
Correct.
Okay. I mean, obviously, we recently just saw one, but trying to think
there's a couple great names and great stories, and just to start it off, the first guy to do it was in 1977, journeyman first baseman by the name of Mike Jorgensen. You might have remembered this name. He's if you were a baseball card collector, you were always getting Mike Jorgensen cards as a Met or a Cardinal. There were like 2 in each pack. It's one of those guys. But he came over in 1977, his only year with the A's. He came mid-season, was a trade with the Expos for Stan Bonson, a starting pitcher. Final game as an A happened at Texas, was the last regular season game of the year. He actually hits 2 home runs in that game. Second inning off John Poloni, and then in the 8th inning, he comes up and hits a home run off Roger Murray. And that's it. That's it for his A's career. He's a free agent. He signs with Texas. He goes on to play 8 more seasons in the big leagues with the Mets, the Braves, the Cardinals. And then kind of noteworthy-wise, when Joe Torre was fired as manager of the Cardinals in 1995, Mike Jorgensen takes over, and he finishes out the 95 season. So he was the bridge between Joe Torre and Tony La Russa. Mike Jorgensen was your Cardinal manager. And then for one that's just ridiculous, Mike Jorgensen is the only Major League Baseball player who was born on the day that Babe Ruth died, August 16th, 1948. Only one born on that day who made it into the majors.
There you go. I like it. Is this the honorable mention?
No, these are guys who've done it. It's not really a top 10 in this case, but we're just going to go through them.
I like it. All right.
This is one of my favorite ones, 1982. Oakland Athletic Hall of Famer Joe Rudy homered in his final at bat as an A. Now, I know a lot of people remember the Joe Rudy from the glory years of the 70s. He left. He went and played 4 seasons with the Angels and a year with the Red Sox. But in 1982, the A's signed him to come back to the Athletics at 35 years old to be a right-handed hitting first baseman, basically platooning with Jim Spencer and Dan Meyer, who are both left-handed hitting first basemen. And also help a young Ricky Henderson learn how to play the outfield. This is Joe Rudy learned how to play the outfield from Joe DiMaggio. So let's teach these lessons. Let's bring them along. Joe didn't hit great, hit 212, 18 RBIs in limited action. But final game of the season, 1982, Billy Martin's final game as manager of the A's.
Wow.
And Billy's going to have a little bit of fun. Your starting shortstop for your Athletics that day, Dwayne Murphy. Yes, 6-time Gold Glove winning center fielder Dwayne Murphy starts the game as shortstop. Basically, he said, I always wanted to play shortstop. So who starts in center field? Longtime second baseman, Davey Lopes is your
Davey Lopes?
Which is funny because after this game, they realized Davey Lopes could actually play the outfield. And he actually played a lot the end of his career as an outfielder. And this game kind of spurred that on a little bit because they said, he could do it. But Davey Lopes didn't play the whole game. He gets replaced in center field in the 5th inning by Rick Langford. Yes, pitcher Rick Langford takes over in center field in the 5th inning of a baseball game. So obviously Billy's having fun. He's already checked out. He's already destroyed his office. He knows he's not coming back. Joe Rudy plays his last game. He doubles in the 2nd inning. And then in the 4th, he homers off Larry Gura. He's replaced by Kelvin Moore at first base. And that's it. His career's over. 3-time World Series champ, 3 Gold Gloves, 3-time All-Star, twice finished second in the MVP race. Career's over. Goes out with a home run.
Yeah, great career. Great career. And, it's really been a good life in Florida, playing golf every day with the wife. And life's been good for Joe Rudi.
Joe Rudi, that's a pretty spectacular life. I agree. And you look at his career and his post-baseball career, he comes back as a coach with the A's on a part-time basis. We talk about teaching guys to play the outfield. He taught Jose Canseco how to play the outfield because Jose was having so much trouble in left field that he actually taught him how to play left field in 1986.
That's new A's Hall of Famer Jose Canseco.
That's news.
Can't wait for the speech, my man Jose. Can't wait.
There he is.
It's gonna be good.
Moving on in 1985. This is one of those guys, cup of coffee guys, right? A guy named Steve Kiefer, who was a first-round draft pick out of Fullerton in 1981. He was looked at as a power-hitting third baseman. He was going to be the guy to move Carney Lansford off third base.
Oh, no.
Didn't happen. Made his debut in 84 playing shortstop, actually. Couldn't hit. Came back up in 85. Lansford's hurt, so he's playing third, but he's not doing anything. And then finally, final game of the year, October 2nd, enters the game as a pinch runner for Dave Kingman. Stays in the game, comes up in the order as the DH, and it's a 3-run homer in Texas off a guy named Glenn Cook. And that's it for his A's career. In the spring of 86, he's traded to Milwaukee. That brings back pitcher Moose Haas, which is a very good trade for the A's. Moose Haas was very good for the Athletics in 86 when he was healthy. Unfortunately, he couldn't stay healthy. But Steve Kiefer, just a cup of coffee guy, played 3 seasons in Milwaukee, and then ended up playing 5 games for the Yankees in 1989.
Love it.
Talk about A's Hall of Famers. This one is a new A's Hall of Famer, Terry Steinbach.
Last at bat?
Steiny, the only Athletic, did a home run in his first at bat as an Athletic and his last at bat.
That's good knowledge. That is very good knowledge right there.
Unbelievable. He broke in 86 with a home run off Greg Swindell. He was a very solid catcher. We know this, right? But not a power hitting catcher. His high was 16 home runs. But all of a sudden in 1996, it's Powerball. It's home runs galore. He has a career high 35 home runs and drives in 100. Now, going into the second to last day of the season, he's got 33 home runs, which at the time had tied Carlton Fisk for the most home runs by an American League catcher. So he needs one more to set the record as a catcher, most home runs. In the 6th inning, he crushed a home run off Sterling Hitchcock, sets the record, crossed home plate, bashed a few teammates, and was gone. Replaced by Izzy Molina. Ray Fosse used to say he took off his shin guards and went right to the airport, flew back to Minnesota, setting the American League record with the 34 homers. It was finally broken by Pudge Rodriguez, who would hit 35. But yeah, Terry Steinbach hits a home run in his first at bat and his last at bat.
Only 1 year. 1 year. You're right. 1 year.
1 year.
That's it. After that, he hit 16 in 87. He hit 15 in 95. And then all of a sudden, 96, 35 home runs.
Yeah, and it was crazy good. I mean, anytime the ball was in the middle of the plate, he just crushed it. It's one of those years where he just was seeing it well, just crushed everything that came through. It just clutch homers. We're not talking down 6 runs in the 9th homers. We're talking homers that meant something.
Context. We can put context to the dingers. All right. A's Hall of Famer Terry Steinbach.
Terry Steinbach. This one's a little personal to me. Not his last plate appearance, but his last at bat. Tony Phillips in 1999. Now you gotta remember Tony. He first showed up on the scene in '82, and we're talking 17 years later. He's still playing. He's 40 years old. The A's bring him back, and he's having a great year for an athletics team that's in the wild card race. This is the year that where Hudson comes up. This is Giambi, Chavez, Tejada. They're starting to feel it. And Tony Phillips was a big part of this. He's their center fielder. He's having such a good year. Hits a home run off Kelvin Escobar in the 3rd inning at Skydome. It was called Skydome at that time. It was before his Rogers Center. But he walks leading off the 6th and then trying to break up a double play at second base. His cleat catches and he breaks his leg. Sliding into second, and that's it. Tony's career is over.
He had a terrific career.
Terrific. I mean, he changed the utility guy, right? Nobody was like him where once he got to Detroit, he's playing every position with power, with average, and just a winner, right? Now, he had some off the field issues, and he always admitted, hey, they were my fault. I was the one who caused them. He always took ownership of that stuff. Had a long career because he was such an important locker room guy. He was loud, but people loved him. But here's a little story about this. I don't know if I've ever told you.
He's the lovable, nutty guy.
Oh, he's crazy. He's loud, but it's fun. But this is the crazy thing about this weekend in Toronto. Back in '99, again, Jason Giambi, Matt Stairs. This team's starting to get a little roll, and some hanger-ons were starting to show up. And one of those was a psychic. And it was this very nice woman. She was a celebrity psychic. She had done work with Britney Spears and some other people. And so she was around the team. Not always, but we see her in different cities. So the story goes, that day, it was a Sunday in Toronto, she's calling the clubhouse saying, I got to talk to Tony. I got to talk to Tony. I'm like, well. They get Tony on the phone with her. And she goes, Tony, don't play today. And he's like, what are you talking about? Because I'm hot. She's like, don't play today. I have a bad feeling. Nah. Plays, hits that home run. She calls the clubhouse again during the game to say, Tony, please leave the game. I just hit a home run. I'm hot. Frickin' breaks his leg. She was not wrong.
And never plays again.
Never plays again.
The celebrity psychic. Now you know why I have Andrea on our show all the time on postgame show. She said yesterday the cosmic cops are out right now in the cosmos. You got to watch out, Blanco. The cosmic cops. What his astrology?
Hey,
wow, that's great. She's calling the clubhouse. Then they're trying the dugout, trying to tell him, warning him, and she was right.
She was right. Unbelievable. And of course, for Tony, he actually got his leg, got back in shape, and he was playing in some senior baseball leagues, and he was still playing. And unfortunately, in 2016, he had a heart attack and he passed away, which is still heartbreaking. But just a fantastic. I mean, this guy, Tony Phillips, he was a great guy. I wish he listened that day. But you know what? When you're hot, it's hard to believe anything can go wrong.
Yeah, I had a buddy who was in the Angels minor league system when he was there. And they would work out in the Big A and different other places in Orange County and said nothing but the greatest thing. Like Tony didn't have to. Tony's established World Series. I mean, he's Tony Phillips, right? He said Tony treated them all like gold.
Yeah, it's solid. For us TV people working, he was always so kind to us. I mean, I've never saw him big league anybody. He was loud and he'd get on you, but it made you feel included.
That's a good story.
Crazy. It's crazy. Flight home, crazy. Couldn't believe it happened. 2010. This is another just cup of coffee guy. You might remember him, Matt Carson.
Yes, the two Matts. What was the other Matt? I remember the post game. We always said the two Matts. Matt Carson was the one, if people don't remember. He's the guy that chased a fly ball center field, did not feel the track, ran head first, body into and it's like, it was such a deep home run. It's like, he clearly doesn't know how to read a ball off the bat.
No. And remember, they put the outline of his body on the fence. Yes. Yeah. That's the guy. That's Matt Carson.
Would later go on and play with the Dodgers.
Actually ended up playing with the Twins and Cleveland.
Not the Dodgers?
Not the Dodgers.
Who was the other Matt? I remember we had the two Matts. We constantly Matt Watson. That's right. Matt Watson. Matt Carson. Yeah. We're here to save the day. And you know what's funny is, when you live a 500 season, I mean, you remember back to that year, they went to Seattle at the end of the year. They were 4 games under. Seattle was like a glorified AAA, if not AA team. They sweep them. I'll never forget, you guys had Bob Guerin on TV after, and Ray's like, 500, Skip, we're really building something. And I'm like, this team stinks. But yes, living a real 81 and 80, it's hard to do. It's hard to do 81 and 81. And I just remember, all those different shows that I did that year, just the ups and downs and the roller coaster ride to be 81 and 81.
81. And just for Matt Carson, his last at bat came in a game against Texas in late September. The A's were losing 16-7. And Carson homers off Clay Rapata. And that's his last at bat. Not his final game. He actually comes in 3 days later as a pinch runner for Jack Cust in Anaheim, and then gets pinch hit for himself by Jeff Larish. Carson will play for the Twins in Cleveland, but a guy they thought could be a power hitting outfielder, 4A guy, never panned out in the big leagues.
Good athlete, but had no instincts.
No, God, no. No, that fence can tell you that. You look closely, you can still see his face embedded in there.
I'll never forget that. It was like, did he not read the bat? Like, how did he not, how do you not feel the warning track? How do you not, like never stop, just wham, like he was going to catch the ball? I was like, bro.
It's a gamer. So now this doesn't happen again until 2018, until a guy I'm sure you spent a lot of time talking about, Bruce Maxwell.
Wow, wouldn't have guessed that.
Bruce Maxwell, right? He's, he was in the A system as a strong arm, good hitting catcher. They were going to give him the reins. They were going to let him be the catcher. In 2017, he basically split time with Fegley. 2017, also in September, he takes a knee for racial injustice. Whether you feel good or bad about it, he put a target on his back by doing it. And if you were going to do that, you kind of have to come through. You have to be a good player. I hate to say it, but you're going to be looked down upon if you're not. It's another reason for teams to get rid of you, right? If you're a distraction. If you're a good player, that distraction's fine. If you're not, do we need this distraction? And we've seen it in all sorts of professional sports. And, 2018 starts, the A's signed Jonathan Lucroy, and Maxwell's the backup, and he struggled. He's hitting 182. He's not playing well. June 2nd at Kansas City, he's in a game. He hits a solo home run off Jason Hamill, his only homer of the year, and it's his last. Lucroy will pinch hit for him in the 8th inning, and 40 days later, he's sent to the minors. And his A's career is done. He tried to catch on with another team. He spent time with the Yankees organization. He spent time with the Giants, had some injury issues, Tommy John surgery. And, thankfully for him, he's found a home in Mexico. He played there. He had a bunch of bombs, and now he's a coach for Toros de Tijuana. And still, that's how he's getting his baseball Jones. It's tough. He made a decision, and I think it really hurt him.
Yeah, he had an off the field thing too. That was really that was really a thing that was like, wow. It was hard to come back from.
It is between the two things. You're right. If you're going to make a stand, you need to be rock solid and no skeletons in the closet sort of thing. And unfortunately, you got into a situation with a food delivery guy and
a firearm, and it was not good. It was not good. That's an interesting one.
Yeah. I always thought, Bruce Maxwell, they really thought in the mid, 2015, 2016, he's going to take Stephen Vogt's spot. He's going to be the catcher. Didn't pan out. 2020, COVID year. Jake Lamb.
Wow.
Remember the A's acquired Jake Lamb in mid-September because Matt Chapman was hurt. He was going to have the hip surgery. They needed a third baseman. So he played the final 13 games. Remember, only a 60-game season. Hard to believe 60 games is a full season, right? Played the final 13 games, hit 3 bombs, and in the final regular season game.
Early. He hit a few early, and you're like, yeah.
He hit 2 very early. Homered off Yohisha Hirano of the Mariners in the last game of the year. In the postseason, he did play, went 1 for 7. Didn't make much of an entry. Pinder kept coming in for him in the postseason games. So Lamb wasn't getting a lot of playing time. And since then, Lamb has played for the White Sox, the Blue Jays, the Dodgers, the Mariners, the Angels. Right now, he's in the Pirates organization in AAA.
Wow.
But last at bat as an Athletic, hit a home run.
All right, 60 games is too fast. What really is the right what is the right for the American fan now in 2024? What is the right amount of games?
I will never get off 162. I think 162 is perfect. It's 26 weeks. It's half the year. I think it's perfect.
Okay, not for you, the average American sports fan. What is the right number?
Oh, yeah, I don't know what they can handle. Probably more in the 140 range is my guess.
Because even the NBA and hockey's too much.
The 82 games, yeah. That's why they put the in-season tournament to try and get some more meaning in the NBA to some regular season games. But I'm too old school. 162 is perfect. Let's go.
I know you. I'm saying regular Joe.
Well, the regular Joe's got to come up to
120. What would be 120?
120 is not enough. Not enough. Maybe 140, 145. And then you could, that way your postseason wouldn't go into November.
Yeah,
as
and
far
start
as going
later.
now.
I mean, we used to start mid-April. Now we start in March, right? Yeah. It's like if we can get less cold weather dates, condense it more, and more post-game. I don't need post-game in November.
No, I don't like it going so far in November. I want this thing to be done before Halloween. I think they need to figure out a way for that to happen. And shortening the schedule, that would probably be the way to do it.
All right, we got to roll, Feldy. We got quickly Josh Reddick memory. He's coming up next.
Josh Reddick did not homer in his final at bat as an age. So let me just go through the last few guys real quick. Aramis Garcia, Chris Davis, Elvis Andrews. They were all involved in the same trade. They all homered in the last at bat as an Athletic. And then probably the most recent, most famous one, which was perfect, a guy who had announced his retirement. We know it's his last game. And in his last at bat, Stephen Vogt hits his home run.
He might be an okay manager someday.
You know what? A little seasoning, go through a few situations. He might be okay.
Are you Dodgers Giants tonight?
No, I'm in the studio for A's and Astros, getting ready for this one with Aaron Brooks is back. Remember Aaron Brooks?
Yeah,
he's back.
Yeah. Is he?
I remember the first time he came back, I went, "He's back."
Is he on any of your list?
He is on none of my list. No.
I love it. Thank you, buddy. You're the best.
Thanks, Towny.
Coming up next, Josh Reddick right here on A's Cast Live. This is Chris Townsend. I'm proud to announce our year 2 partnership with Link Soul. They've changed my wardrobe, and they can do the same for you. And right now, their spring collection is fabulous. Natural fabrics and versatile styles, perfect for this time of the year. And they want to introduce their performance line for golf, premium for on-course apparel, design, and to keep you cool and dry. Check it all out, linksoul.com. That's linksoul.com. Remember, look good, play good.
Where does one community end and the next begin? Across the railroad tracks? On the other side of the river? Is it between the east side and the west side? At Comerica Bank, we believe it's all one community, and we're all part of it. That's why Comerica has invested over $20 million for affordable housing, financial education, and workforce development in lower-income communities. Because when we raise expectations for everyone, we all rise. Member FDIC, Equal Opportunity Lender.
Baseball season is officially here, and there's no better time to build your collection of Topps trading cards. Topps packs feature everything from top stars, rookies, game-used memorabilia, and autographs from players around the league, as well as special inserts and surprises. Visit your local hobby shop, retailers, and Topps.com to collect the first product of the season, Topps Baseball Series 1. Follow @Topps on social media to join the conversation and start sharing your collection today.
If you haven't been to the Chicken Pie Shop in Walnut Creek, what are you waiting for? You're going to love the new menu, and it's a great place to watch all the games. Come taste their world-famous chicken pie that has been served in Southern California for 86 years. They have a new spring menu with special dishes and a full bar with new delicious spring cocktails. Spacious indoor and outdoor dining, perfect for your next corporate party or birthday celebration. Don't forget free parking. For more information, go to chickenpieshopwc.com. That's chickenpieshopwc.com.
Nestled in the hills of San Jose, minutes from Silicon Valley, Cinnabar Hills Golf Club offers 27 holes of championship golf, a first-class pro shop, practice facility, and great food in the grill. This time of year also means family and business get-togethers. Let the folks at Cinnabar Hills make your event unforgettable while enjoying their award-winning venue. It's all there for you. Championship Golf, a great space for any events, and incredible food. See it all at CinnabarHills.com. That's CinnabarHills.com.
Hi, fans. This season, Kingsford Capital Management is the official hedge fund sponsor of the Oakland A's. At Kingsford, down to business is their way of seeing the world. Investing has its pitfalls, treacherous chasms of half-truth and despair. Kingsford's mission is to create opportunity through application of proven innovation and entrepreneurial focus with trust, tenacity, loyalty, and growth, establishing a strong reputation as a proven intendant and validated bedrock of American finance. Kingsford Capital, down to business.
Whether it's a midweek trip to the ballpark to catch a game or a weekend of baseball for the family, grab your tickets for an A's game this season. Secure your seats today for all the biggest matchups, fireworks, drone shows, giveaways, and more. Don't miss out on all the things happening this season.
Throws and set. It's a drive into center. It's deep, and Straw is back at the track. He will turn and watch it fly.
Now at athletics.com/tickets. That's athletics.com/tickets. You deserve extra. Extra Mile is where you get it. You don't just deserve breakfast. You deserve extra fresh Mile 1 coffee just the way you like it. You deserve more than a quick bite. You deserve an extra satisfying array of hot foods, extra good snacks, and fountain drinks that help you go the extra mile. Plus, with Extra Mile rewards, you can earn free stuff. Visit Extra Mile at select Chevron and Texaco locations. See program terms and conditions for details.
You remember this, A's fans? You know, I'll never forget a young guy coming over from Boston and wanted a chance. He wanted a chance to prove he could play every day. And he got that chance and hit 32 bombs. And what a career it was. A's fans, welcome back Josh Reddick. Red, how are you?
Towny, how the heck are you, buddy?
I'm doing great. Last night, by the way, they were showing you on TV, flexing, doing the game. How is life? How is everything since the last time we saw you?
It's good. You know, I'm a Texas native now. I live just outside of Houston, made a base here. I got a family, got twin boys that are almost 5 years old, running me left and right, up and down with all their stuff. Got them in karate, baseball, soccer, gymnastics, you name it. It's a busy life, but you know, it's a slow adjustment into the retired world, but getting to be there every day and see them do everything all day, every day, it's pretty special, and I'm taking every chance I can to enjoy it.
How much are you enjoying the broadcasting?
I'm still learning a lot. It's fun, but I'm still slowly learning. This radio thing's tough, man. You got to know when to talk, when not to talk, what to talk about. You know, the pregame and postgame stuff's easy. It's laid out for you. This radio stuff, it gets you on your toes.
Yeah, you start to see the game a little bit differently. You were so used to living it. Now you're watching it. You need to talk about it. It's just a different deal.
Absolutely. Yeah. I mean, I don't know how these guys do it. Robert Ford's been doing such a great job at it for so long. And it's fun to be beside him and watch him flow and do the play-by-play here in person. And I just try to chime in and not screw anything up, man. If I got a story that relates to it, I'll probably tell it. And, you know, sometimes it lasts 2 innings. Sometimes it lasts 2 seconds.
You know, I think back on it, and the A's fit you perfectly. It was a place where you could come in and you could be you. And the characters, we talk to Johnny Gomes all the time, still on the show, but all the different people in the clubhouse. We think about 2012. That's one of the great years, even though this organization's had World Series championships, but that was truly one of the great years, one of the great endings. I know the bond that you guys have from that team will always be there. Just talk about when you showed up to the Oakland Athletics, what it meant to you as a person, what it meant to your career.
Oh, I think it meant everything to my career, just being able to get out of Boston as a platoon guy and get over there to a team that wasn't supposed to do anything with a bunch of kids that nobody had ever heard of. So that's what initially happened. When I got traded, I realized that it was going to be a great opportunity for me personally. And, you know, we're going to do everything we could to win. And we found every possible way we could to do that as often as we could. And the guys that we had there, you know, I would be lying if I said Coco Chris wasn't a huge impact, not only for me as a player, but me as a person, just being, you know, from the East Coast, from the South, and moving out to a completely different world in California, he taught me a lot of things about how to handle myself and to be a better person out there, and just really how to approach not only being a player, but just being a better human being.
Yeah, I'll never forget when you came over that one day and we were all doing the show together with Coco on the field. That was so much fun. And just the relationship that you had with the fans. And, I mean, next thing you know, here comes the Spider-Man costume. Here comes the Pie guys. Most organizations, that's not going to fly. But with Bob Melvin and with the A's, it did. And it just worked. Just talk about that time in your career where you're allowed to be a leader. You're allowed to be a guy that, hey, this is supposed to be fun, damn it.
You know, the crazy thing is about all that stuff is I was just trying to be myself in the most fun way possible and just trying to find different ways to be fun. And I didn't really ask for permission, so that might have been, frowned upon and dressing up. But I told everybody, I said, next one, because we had so many walk-offs that year that I told them, look, next time we get a walk-off, I'm coming out in the Spider-Man costume. And nobody told me no. So I took that as every opportunity to jump on it and be able to, just have fun and be more of myself out there. And I don't know if Billy and Bob really technically allowed it, but they never really told me not to. So here's what it is.
Do you still have the costume?
That one in particular, no. But I do have one definitely at my house. I wore that one out. It became a little holy.
At some point, when your kids get older and Dad's going to be one of the cool Major League Baseball players. I think when your kids start to watch the videos, they're going to realize the kind of fun that you had as a Major League Baseball player.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, they have no clue right now. And actually had a nice humbling moment from one of my boys in a little charity softball game I was having. And my son walks up and he goes, Daddy, why are you taking pictures and writing on everybody's baseball? And I just looked at him like, buddy, your dad used to be a little bit cool. And he walked off and said, okay, bye. So they always keep you humble, man. Kids keep you humble these days, and it was hilarious.
Well, we never forget you around here. We always have the bobblehead on hand, as we have all these bobbleheads here. I wanted to show you just your relationship with the A's fans, the championship belts, sending pizzas up to the guys in right field. Just talk about your relationship with A's fans.
Oh man, what a great group of people that was not only just the right fielders, but the fans that actually showed up on a daily basis to the Coliseum when we were there. Sorry, Ricky Henderson Field. Sorry, I don't know what it's called now. I'm gonna call
it Ricky Henderson. Yeah,
I'm gonna call it the Coliseum. We'll call it that. But just the guys and girls that showed up every day, whether it was a Wednesday matinee or a Friday night primetime game, they were out there. They were loud. They were banging those drums, doing their chants, hanging their signs. And it was just a way for me to be like, you know what? These seem like some pretty down-to-earth people, and I could probably hang out with them. And then one day it just randomly happened on Twitter to where we were I think we were supposed to have the after party for the Bernie singer. And Coco and I went out and went to like this small bar, and a lot of them were there. And that's where I met him and got to know him. And, from then on, it became a pretty good friendship. And I'm still buddies with a lot of them now and stay in really good contact with them. But, the days where we would have those day games in Oakland where we'd stay there and have a night game the next day, I'd always invite them to come over and, always have a few cocktails, listen to some tunes, and just, shoot the breeze, have a good time, just have people hang out. And it was always good to have friends because, nobody I knew was in California. So, and not many people from Georgia would make that trip. So it worked for me, as I'm sure as well for them.
You think about your time around a lot of great starlight players, big-time players. I know you had a great relationship with Big Papi in Boston. You come to Oakland, but then you go to L.A., but then it ends up in Houston. And then Houston's where you become a World Series champion. Just take us through what it was like going to the Astros. I know you've thought about it your whole life, and now you finally do it. You win the World Series.
Yeah, so, the thing about coming to Houston, it was really a surprise to me because leading up to free agency, this was the team I thought would be the last team to contact me for a contract. I knew that the A's were probably going to reoffer after all that extension talk failed. I knew that the Rangers and the Royals and possibly the Orioles and even the Blue Jays were going to come calling just because of how well I did in their ballparks, and they were in need of a right fielder at the time. And then these guys came out of nowhere, and was a team that was turning around from the team that we saw, where we'd come in here and just absolutely destroy them. And then, after 2014, we traded away all our guys, and these guys got all their young guys up and were really, coming into their own as really good players, and we're getting our butts kicked. So I realized that, these guys were bringing money to the table. They were a better team, and they had the best chance of winning a championship. So it was like everything you look for in free agency was right there on the table for me. And so I said, this is an easy decision for me. I'm not going to try to stress it. I'm not going to try to negotiate for 2 weeks, make them lose interest on me, where I can come in and just be on a really good team and have a really good shot.
And the next thing you know, you get Verlander, and the rest is history.
The rest is history, baby. And there's nothing like being in a World Series, and then there's absolutely nothing like actually winning one. And, they ask you how you feel, and there's really nothing you can explain how you felt. Just every emotion coming out of you. There's crying in baseball at these times as opposed to not. You're happy, you're super happy, super excited, but you just let it all out, man. You're screaming, you're crying, you're just jumping around. There's really no other way to describe that.
And how is it for you in Houston? I mean, now that you're a retired player, now you're doing a little play-by-play, but you're still a guy who won a World Series there. You're now retired. You've let them know that, hey, I'm staying here. I'm raising my family here. What's life like in Houston for you now?
It's easy life, man. Like I said, we live about 30 minutes outside of here, small town. So we go out in public, and there's a rare moment where you don't get recognized. But good thing is I blend in pretty well from where I'm at right now. But when I get to Houston and I come to these things, it's a lot of fun to have that, I guess glory would be the word, whenever you can still feel loved as a player. And, it's in moderation. It keeps you happy. And then you get to go home and not worry about the stress of baseball life and the fact that you get to go home every night and be with your kids every day. And, but yeah, it's fun. These guys keep me busy. This is my first radio experience, loving every second of it. I do the pre and post game. In the off season, they reach out to me to do appearances all around the city. So they keep me busy. They keep me close enough to the game, but they don't get me too close enough to where it's too much. So I think we have a perfect balance going on right now. And like I said, it's always good to have that feeling of, the glory days coming out.
I know Johnny Gomes still has the robe. Do you still have the robe?
I do. Yes, it's still hanging in my closet. Both of them. I have a green and a gold one. I know he's probably got a closet full of them on the teams he's been on.
Oh, God, it was just so funny back walking through the clubhouse. You guys have robes on. I'm like, this is the Oakland A's, and we're winning, and we're winning.
It's only crazy if it doesn't work, Towny. You know that.
Oh, God, I got to tell you, I miss those days. We had a lot of fun. I'll never forget after 2012, after Josh Hamilton drops the ball, all the craziness and everything, to watch all of you guys come out, wives, girlfriends, take the pictures, and then everybody went away. And I think I took phone calls that day for like 3 hours. There was just a pyramid of Bud Light. It was either can or the blue cylinder right on top by the mound was just this big. I was like, that's the 2012 A's. And then you guys, let's just end on this. I mean, the fun that you guys had, even though you came up short, you guys played in some legendary series against the Tigers. Those are some great battles.
I mean, I get asked all the time, what is the loudest ballpark I've ever played in? And I've been in 2 World Series, and still it will not equal the noise from Game 5 in 2015 when we were facing Verlander in his perfect game. This is the loudest ballpark I've ever been in. I've had this talk with Verlander as a teammate. It's still his loudest ballpark that he's pitched in. And so that speaks volumes, because you think of all the ballparks that are played in every day, between the Yankee stadiums, the Fenways, all these loud, proud fan bases. But when you get those tarps off at the Coliseum and you get those people in there, it's a sea of yellow flags and nothing but nonstop noise.
Are you going to be doing any road trips on radio on the road?
No radio. This is my only radio gig, so I'm staying here local. I won't be doing any traveling.
Well, I want to thank you, because for many years you were really good to us on A's Radio. You were always really a stand-up guy. You were great to us. And now I just root for you and your career. And hopefully someday, if you start doing it on the road as the kids get older, can't wait to see you wherever we are.
Hey, we never know what the future may hold.
Red, you're the best, buddy. You be well.
You too, Towny. Appreciate it, brother.
Josh Reddick, one of the great A's, man. He was a super cool guy to cover. Ah, man. The good old days. You know, it's funny last night, and it's happened kind of lately, last couple of years, where, you know, because we got walled off from the public a little bit because of COVID, and then, you know, we're back in regular, you know, treehouse and seeing people, and, you know, over the years where people come up and they give me the, you know, I've been listening to you since I was a kid. I got a couple of those last night on the postgame show. I've been listening to you since, and so a couple of people chimed in last night on. By the way, you can call Robert Costa right now, 833-625-2278. Robert's not doing anything. Call him, talk to him, ask him, you know, what he had for lunch, his favorite A's moment, favorite Josh Reddick moment. But
forgot to ask him his Mount Rushmore wrestlers. We'll get that next time.
You know, it's you think about certain times all these years, and 2012, you know, I always say it's like, you know, for like Warrior fans, it's like the We Believe year. And but Josh Reddick was a lot of fun. I mean, he and Johnny Gomes wearing those robes, just some of the stupid stuff you'd see in the clubhouse and stupid stuff they do, the stupid stuff they'd say on your show, and you just laugh. You know, it's a game, man. We're having fun, y'all. Baseball, y'all. We're having fun, as Julian Morales would say from the Houston Astros. It is fun. It's a game. And there's something about teams that win that they have fun together. They bond together. They enjoy life together. They grow together. The whole, we're brothers and we fight, but that A's of the 70s, that might have worked. But like what we see now, the way players are now, you see that, right? You saw the joy that the Warriors had playing together, that how much those guys liked each other. And we saw that with the A's. Football's different because you have so many different guys, and offense is different than defense. And but, you know, with these teams that are close-knit, a lot of Sharks teams those guys were pretty close. I remember the guys I used to play golf with, like Friesen and Owen Nolan and those guys. They were all pretty tight. But Josh Reddick was somebody that was on Twitter. You know, I think a right field Will and right field James and our buddies up there and their relationship with him, and, you know, the championship belt, and he's sending them pizzas. I didn't want to get into it, but people are partying with him. I mean, he was a big partier in Walnut Creek. You'd see Josh Reddick in Walnut Creek partying all the time. I mean, it's what it's supposed to be. You're young. You're a professional athlete. You're making more money than you've ever made before. Remember, he had the Georgia football helmet. It's supposed to be. Damn it, it's supposed to be fun. And Josh Reddick was fun. Coco was fun. And think about this, too. It really shows you the leadership of Coco Crisp, because Coco was somebody that loved playing for the A's. He was Billy Bean's kid's favorite, the Twins' favorite, and he loved it. West Coast guy, close enough to home, but not home. Close enough, but not home, because he didn't want to be home. It's good to be close, but it's also good to be just far enough away. And that was perfect for Coco. On days off, it was a quick Southwest flight home. But Coco knew this was good for him. This was a good place for him. So when you have your better players, you know, because all of a sudden Donaldson became a better player. Donaldson loved playing here. And you got Johnny Gomes. He's from Petaluma, and he grew up an A's fan. I mean, when you start to see the clubhouse, it kind of makes sense, right? Of how you see the dynamic of why it worked, why it started coming together. And a lot of it had to do with you had good dudes, and they loved it. And you had Bob Melvin, and you had the right leader, Bob Melvin, from here. So you had a bunch of people who were like, this is all, where you had the rest of the world going, I don't know, the Coliseum sucks, it's old. You had a bunch of people in that clubhouse going, I love playing here. This is great. And it took off. And it was fun. And it was great to watch. And Josh Reddick was a big part. I mean, he was just a 25-year-old kid coming over from Boston. Can he play every day? I don't know. Next thing you know, he had 32 bombs. And he was great defensively. I mean, he had a hose in right field. He tried to catch everything. He was fast. He was I don't know what his defensive metrics were, but I tell you what, he could play defense. Josh Reddick was a grade A.
He had the 3-homer game in Toronto, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Yeah, I remember watching. I mean, just from afar that year in 2012, because I didn't move here till the end of 2012. I remember watching. I mean,
you don't know what it was like.
Oh yeah, I have no idea. But watching it from afar, like watching MLB Network when they'd cut into the live look into the A's and tracking down the Rangers in those last final games. I remember watching it. Back then, I did have an A's shirt. I had a Jemile Weeks jersey because I came to the Coliseum a few years.
He's
prior.
untouchable. Uh-huh.
But yeah, that team. Well, everyone A's fans will always remember that team. I think a lot of these people who work in the industry and like baseball will always remember that A's team for what that run they went on and winning the division.
And Reddick got paid. He got 13. So that's 4 straight years of $13 million with the Astros. Made almost $67 million in his career. And it's perfect. He's a small town guy, right? Now married, kids.
He's from Savannah, right?
He's from Georgia.
Yeah, I think he's from Savannah, which is beautiful. My aunt lives there. It's a great city. Yeah, I mean, I just remember him. I always liked him, the appeal with him because of how he played, but also him being a huge wrestling guy. And then he'd always have the wrestling theme songs when he'd come up. If it was Triple H or Stone Cold, it was always awesome. And then Careless Whisper, I remember. I just remember being, back then I was the board op for those games at 95.7. So when John Trinidad, we're really going inside, was the board op, he would cut all the feed and just play Careless Whisper when and locally from at the Coliseum when Josh Reddick was coming up, and it was awesome. And this is the days when the A's were winning.
He dressed in a Spider-Man costume. He would run up, or he actually would have it right behind, right where the diamond level seats are, dress in Spider-Man and come out and pie guys. Vince Cotroneo, Oakland is the walk-off capital of baseball. I mean, it was like walk-off after walk-off, pie after pie. And like, people are like, this guy. Remember, MLB Network launched. What year was that? Was that 10?
Yeah, I think they just celebrated a milestone. Was it 10? 09? If it was 09, my 15 years.
I want to make sure I get this right.
14 walk-offs in 2012, by the way.
And Oakland is the walk-off capital of baseball. I mean, I was doing every night. I guess I still do it. But we were doing like 2-3 hour
Yeah,
post
January 1st, 2009. So 15 years.
So I was doing like 3 hour post, like every night. It was like 2.5, 3. I mean, I know I go long now, but it was crazy.
Marathon man.
And just think about it. MLB Network's kind of started. They got their highlight show, and some dudes running out in a Spider-Man costume, pieing people. Baseball people are going, what is going on in Oakland? This is insanity. Bernie lean. Everybody's doing the Bernie lean. I mean, it was just characters. It was purees. It was purees. I am very, very thankful that I got to be a part of that. And if you remember back, it wasn't that long ago. I just said, what year was his last year? Would have been 2019 when Coco was doing stuff for us. And Coco was doing the show with me, and Red came over for like an hour, and it was the three of us just BSing. And I would just get out of the way and let them just go because they were boys. Like not only on the field, they ran together off the field, and to listen to what a treat that was. I mean, that'd be like great to replay again on A's Cast. Is that show, or at least just that conversation where you had Reddick and Coco chopping it up for an hour.
I can't send it to myself quick enough, but I'm showing you. There's the photo of Red and Coco when we did that.
Yeah, show them. That was awesome. If you can see it, can they see it?
I could hold on. It's proper technology.
Zoom in.
That's what I'm doing. Hold on. And it's gonna get blurred because of the
Reddick and Coco. I mean, it was like an hour. We were only supposed to have him for like 10 minutes, and he just stayed.
Yeah.
Because it's Coco. It's this guy. Reminiscing.
I'm glad we were able to have him. It was cool.
Yeah,
to
that
catch
was
up
really
with him,
cool of him. Josh Reddick. I will always remember him as a grade A. All right. Thank you to Shooty. Thank you to Feldy. Thank you to Red. What a great show today. Good job by you, Commander.
I'm just trying to get better every day. As Bill Belichick would say, do your job.
The straw that stirs the drink.
But good work.
And somebody has to figure out how the Twins have. This is insane.
You know what? I'm gonna text. You know what? I'll get Sarah Langs on tomorrow. We'll have Sarah break down.
I just want to know, how is it possible that one major league franchise has dominated the next major league franchise, and everything is completely changed in all these years that this has been happening? 2002, all the names, all the human beings, all the people who run. Brian Cashman may be the only thing that they both play. There's a new Yankee Stadium. There's Target Field. There's different stadiums, different people. How have the Yankees just continued to beat the Twins like this when the Twins have been good?
Well, I'm texting Sarah once we end, and we'll
somebody figure this out, how this is possible. Coming up next, it's A's Total Access. We get you ready for the Astros and the A's right here on A's Cast and the A's Radio Network. This is Chris Townsend. I'm proud to announce our year 2 partnership with Link Soul. They've changed my wardrobe, and they can do the same for you. And right now, their spring collection is fabulous. Natural fabrics and versatile styles, perfect for this time of the year. And they want to introduce their performance line for golf, premium for on-course apparel design, and to keep you cool and dry. Check it all out, linksoul.com. That's linksoul.com. Remember, look good, play good.
Whether it's a midweek trip to the ballpark to catch a game or a weekend of baseball for the family, grab your tickets for an A's game this season. Secure your seats today for all the biggest matchups, fireworks, drone shows, giveaways, and more. Don't miss out on all the things happening this season.
Rose and Seth. It's a drive into center. It's deep, and Straw is back at the track. He will turn and watch it fly.
So grab yours now at athletics.com/tickets. That's athletics.com/tickets.
Hi, fans. This season, Kingsford Capital Management is the official hedge fund sponsor of the Oakland A's. At Kingsford, down to business is their way of seeing the world. Investing has its pitfalls, treacherous chasms of half-truth and despair. Kingsford's mission is to create opportunity through application of proven innovation and entrepreneurial focus with trust, tenacity, loyalty, and growth, establishing a strong reputation as a proven intendant and validated bedrock of American finance. Kingsford Capital, down to business.
Hey, Oakland A's fans, step up to the plate with Xfinity Internet. Get the fastest speeds and low-lag streaming for an incredible viewing experience that knocks it out of the park. And you'll have a consistent connection with reduced buffering and freezing, so you can stay in all the action inning after inning. When it's game time, make sure to catch it all with internet that's powerful and reliable. Stream sports from the best seat in the house with Xfinity, because it's only live once. Actual speeds vary and not guaranteed. Many factors affect speed. For factors affecting speed, visit xfinity.com/network management.
Baseball season is officially here, and there's no better time to build your collection of Topps trading cards. Topps packs feature everything from top stars, rookies, game-used memorabilia, and autographs from players around the league, as well as special inserts and surprises. Visit your local hobby shop, retailers, and Topps.com to collect the first product of the season, Topps Baseball Series 1. Follow @Topps on social media to join the conversation and start sharing your collection today.
This has been a presentation of the Oakland Athletics.